Okay. Am I forgetting something? I feel like I'm forgetting something. No, I have everything here. I have a couple of joints rolled. I've got one of the beautiful Moroccan peaches to smoke. I've got a few other things to open tonight. No, I think I'm here. I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Highly Motivated with your host tonight, me, Oraganji. We are here on a Sunday sesh. It is Sunday. I'm pretty sure it's Sunday. It feels like a Sunday. The weekend felt like a weekend. I mean, like, what is it? It feels like a weekend. Yesterday, I was a little under the weather. Yesterday, I felt a little beat up. I guess all the driving has gotten to me. The stress because of the stupid vehicles has gotten to me. The heat, the crazy heat of Florida has gotten to me. Like, look, you can get heat sickness. Everybody welcome East Coast Visual Media, Major Nugs, Major Ganji. Welcome to Highly Motivated on a Sunday sesh. Good to have you here. So yeah, the weekend, so yesterday hit me like a ton of bricks. Normally on the weekend, I am busy. Like I'm cutting grass, I'm edging, I'm planting, I'm transferring plants. I work in the garden on the weekends. When I'm home, I work in the garden. And I did for like a moment. First thing in the morning, I got out there, I transferred a couple plants to some new pots. I felt really good about it. And but the heat, it started getting so hot. Like, I made sure everything was watered. I felt really good. I'm looking at the plants, everything looks good. But I was congested. The heat got to me so quickly. I came inside and I relaxed. I normally don't relax. I don't know what relaxation actually means. For me to relax is like the craziest thing. I don't know what it means. I'm always busy because I'm making myself busy. Do I need to be busy all the time? Probably not. But in my head, I have this need. I have an inability to relax. Schwartzy Pants, welcome to Highly Motivated. Welcome to the show. I'm not stressing about the show. I'm just rolling with it tonight like I did, I think, for Friday night show. Friday night, hey, Christopher, welcome to the show. Everybody welcome Christopher Sterrell to Highly Motivated. So, Friday night show, tonight's show, I'm just getting into this, not stressed, not worried, not overthinking this community get together. I'm not overthinking our smoky smoke, our little talky-talk, our little talk. I'm not going to overthink it. Just become it. Just be it. Let it happen. That's usually when it's the best. It's the best when you just let things happen. I think that applies for so many things in life. In life, we overstress, we overwork, we overtry. We push so hard for something to work, but instead it doesn't work. It does the opposite. Or we push to make more money, but we're always chasing money and we're never making enough. We push to succeed, but we're never quite succeeding because we push so hard. So I'm not pushing. I am laying off the constant struggle, the constant stress, the constant worry. I'm just letting it go. Like right now, I've got 2 bum vehicles. 2, not 1, but 2. I only have 2 vehicles left. That's all I got. And I'm using one tomorrow. I'm going to be in Jacksonville, and then Tampa, Ocala Villages, Naples, Bonita towards the end of the week. I've got an event on Saturday that I'm doing. So I've got a busy week. I've got a busy, crazy week promoting Jacksonville, promoting North Miami. There's just a lot of new locations, a lot of things happening. So when it comes to the show, I'm just not trying. I'm not going to overly try to make it work because it's already working. It's already everything we need it to be. Now, I do have some interesting things to talk about, interesting things on Orange Brain. What did Christopher say? They canceled Airwolf. I remember Airwolf. That was a great show because it kept switching nights. You've been consistent with Sunday, Wednesday, Friday. All the difference in the world is the cyclical nature of your show. The cyclical, cycle. I can't even say it. But you know, this show is needed. I need it, you need it, we need it, we all need it. And this show, again, no expectations, no set conversations, but there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things we like to talk about, and a lot of things we like to bring up. And we have some great people on this show, like Christopher and Major Nugs, Cowboy, Gavin, Troublesome Red. Look, you name it. Awesome people on this show, and we're just expanding. The show's expanding. It's growing all the time. So if you want to like it, like it. You want to share it, share it. If you don't want to like it, don't. I don't give a shit. You don't want to share it? Who cares? I don't care. Don't share it. Don't do it. I don't care. If you want to do it from your heart, do it from your heart. If you feel other people can benefit from the craziness of this show, then do it. But I don't care. I'm not asking you to do anything. And that for me is the fun part because I don't need anything. This show is already everything. That's it. This show is already everything that it should be, needed to be, and could be. And it's going to be more because I already know it. I see it as such. Periodic nature, consistent schedule. I try. Look, I missed the, what was it? What did I miss? I missed what day? I missed a day. It's been crazy. This whole, last week was crazy, this weekend. So anyways, yesterday, I wasn't feeling so good. You know, I had a lot of chest congestion. And after working in the garden, first thing in the morning, when it's not so hot, it didn't seem to matter. I don't know. It didn't seem to matter. It didn't seem. Wait, I just heard something. Wait, are you playing on something? All right, just wanted to make sure. It sounded crazy over here. I got the door closed. You're good. So, my daughter's playing a game, and I could hear her talking through the wall, and it just sounded crazy. I'm like, what is that? Everything sounds crazy. Everything sounds crazy coming into the studio. Like everything you hear from everywhere else, it's like amplified here in the studio. So it's kind of a wild thing. You see, I was thinking inviting curious people is a good reason to post about this podcast on LinkedIn, especially that. People that want to learn more, not necessarily smokers, right? Not necessarily smokers, but smokers, of course, are part of the club already. I think we're all part of the club. I think we are all part of the club because we all have an endocannabinoid system. But you're right. Beyond that, people who are smokers already feel more comfortable in this digital smoke sesh. But non-smokers can learn so much about the million different things that we talk about on this show. Like tonight. Tonight, I think we need to take food seriously. Not just tonight. Moving forward. That smells good. Moving forward, we need to take food more seriously. And I thought about this, and I've thought about this before, that our country, the United States government, and the pharmaceutical companies are in cahoots to reduce our population by feeding us poison food. Reduce our population, depopulation, population control, without us knowing about it, by giving us cancers, by giving us diseases, so that we're in a system that we have to constantly pay to cure ourselves from the food that we're eating. But we don't realize it's coming from the food. We think our food is safe. Our food is anything but safe. Anything but safe. So let me do this. Let me sparky a Moroccan peaches from our lovely Ideal brand at Gold Flower Cannabis. Isn't this a great way to hold joints? It held 7. This is the last one of the 7. Look how nice that is. Look at that. That's a 1 gram chunky, funky Moroccan peach. That's Moroccan peaches. It's a 1 gram. It smells good. Doesn't smell like peaches. I don't know. I could just sit there with joints in my nose. I mean, if I did if I had like another joint sitting here. Oh, that's nice. What the fuck am I doing? There's weed in my nose. Oh, but I like a chunky, funky joint, especially one that I've just shoved up my nose. There you go. So this was my joint carrier. That was very nice. Let me just put that down over here. All right. I like the product packaging as well. I think it's great. This is not a cone. I don't like cones. Cones are the ones that are twisty on the end. They're long. I mean, I roll, but even I don't roll a cone. I roll it. This is my roll. This is the roll I did, and this is the pre-roll. But this is Limonada, also by Goldflower Cannabis. And this one is Moroccan Peaches. I want to start with the Moroccan Peaches. I haven't smoked one today. It's my last one. And of course, I want to smoke I'm spitting all over the place. I want to smoke my last Moroccan Peaches with the show. So cheers, everybody. Welcome to Highly Motivated, a Sunday smoky edition here at the home studio in Florida, an undisclosed location in North Central Florida. Okay. If I can remember, I try not to like light my joint like this. Like if I'm doing, I'll pre-light it like so. That way I'm not sucking in all the butane. This right here is poison. This is poison. And when you're lighting a joint, you're fucking sucking all this butane right into your lungs. Right into your lungs. So instead, I like to give it a little pre-light and put it, yeah, that's it. Easy tip. Christopher says, I bought an expensive berry bowl today. Strawberries mostly. Blueberries, blackberries, all great, very high in antioxidants, excellent for your body. It makes me feel healthy as I eat it. It's good. I believe it's the raw terpenes and flavonoids, which are just words to describe important biological molecules, biological flavors. Biological flavors. You know, it's not just the terpenes that you're enjoying. Those berries, the blackberries, blueberries, both of those incredibly high in antioxidants. And antioxidants are getting into your body and kicking things into gear. So you're feeling better for multiple reasons. It's the smell, it's the taste, it's so the aroma, the flavonoids, it's so many little things all mixed together. Everybody welcome Goopy Chunk. That's right, everybody, bring him on, Goopy Chunk on Highly Motivated. Oh, wait a second, I got Chris over here. Hold on a second, let me get him in. Christopher, welcome. I didn't even see you waiting over there. Look, I was like, what's going on?
Wait, let me move my thing over.
It's 1 a.m. Goopy just ordered a pizza. Excellent. That's what we're talking about. Very nice, Goopy. I had pizza last night. I got Domino's, and I never ordered Domino's. And after I ate it, I realized why I don't order Domino's. Right. 1, they got my fucking pizza wrong. 2, they got my pizza wrong. 3, the cheese was weird. The bread was weird. The sauce was weird. It wasn't like, okay, wait. It was better once I reheated it and put more mozzarella on it.
It was like an industrial formulation, probably. Food science. We call it food science. Food science is what you get when you buy stuff. I worked with some food scientists. They would go out on a smoke break, so I got to talk to them. They wear lab coats and stuff, and they invent TV dinners and products and stuff.
Right. But see, these aren't real food. Like the cheese you eat, they call it a cheese product. They don't call it cheese. They say a cheese product. Right? Well, I just wanted to pop in and say hi. Well, Goopy, thank you very much for popping in and saying hi. Enjoy your pizza. Is it Domino's? It's not even Domino's. Do they have Domino's in Ireland? I bet you know something. The Domino's or the Pizza Huts in Ireland have got to be 1,000 times better than the shit we have here. You know, it is Domino's. It is. Your Domino's, though, is probably much better. I bet you most of your ingredients are sourced locally. Like most of the ingredients that the Domino's is using, they're in Ireland because you're in Dublin or right outside of Dublin. Um, I bet you it's good ingredients. You know, every time I get a pizza in England, it's good pizza. Every time I get a pizza in Italy, it's really good pizza. Oh, you got something funky over there.
And you're not going to be able to say anything about little buds this time. I only have a couple buds, but they're big ones. Wow.
Let me see your big buds. Let's see your big buds, and I cannot lie. Let me see his big buds. Oh, look at that. Chris has got some nice nugs over there. What strain are you smoking, Chris? I'm smoking Moroccan Peaches by Goldflower.
So this is called Hippie Crusher, and it's by a brand called Agrikind. And I purchased it at a shop in Blackwood, New Jersey called Quality Cannabis. And I highly recommend them. And they'll steer you the right way. I stick with indica and 25 THC or above, and I try to get the biggest sizes I can get. But they're running out. Like dude, I'm probably their biggest customer, actually. Seriously, I probably am. Like, because everybody else is buying like little eights and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because I'm traveling so far, I stock up, and I've brought other people to their business. Like my brother goes to their business, and
a lot of people locally are only going to pick up an eighth at a time. I mean, if it's something local for me, I'll pick up an eighth just quickly on the way home, so I got something to smoke.
Right, it's
but
like I mean, like look, I'm coffee or something, right? You know,
I mean, I've got like right now. What do I have? I've got 1, 2, 3 heavyweight heads, not even opened yet. I've got an ideal that I've opened. This is the blueberry muffin. I love it though. So, I love the blueberry yum yum.
The one I was
I've also got some limonada.
The one I was just shown is called Hippie Crusher. So I'm sure you've heard of Hippie Crusher, probably, right?
Hippie Crusher. I've heard of it.
Hippie Crusher, Hippie Crusher. That's what it's called. See, that's a universal name. You know what it is. It's great. We have a common language.
Yeah, different dispensaries carry different strains as their proprietary.
So do I love the weed business enough that I would get into that as a business? I say yes. I say yes. I say yes. And you know what? The reason I say yes.
He's like, do I love the weed business?
You saw me just make the decision on air like about that. So this is why, because you want multiple streams of revenue. Just because you're making a TV show doesn't mean you don't have a day job as a software developer, and you also have a cannabis business too. You can do all the things at the same time, probably, fractionally at least,
Fractionally.
Move in, I mean, I have a full-time day job, and I have to dedicate priority to that above all else. But my side hustle has always been known. I'm going to build a time machine. I said, I'm either going to rehearse to be Doctor Who. I had 2 conditions for continued employment. The last time I had a really super big review, and that was years ago. But I was joking around. I was either if I'm going to audition for the role of Doctor Who, and if that doesn't work out, I'm going to build my own time machine. And I meant what I said. That was my plan.
That's a good plan. It's a good plan.
It's a matter of national pride too, because I'll tell you why, Oren. They just had the King of England exit the TARDIS, the blue police box, and Sylvester McCoy, who played the Doctor before, was there. They made it into a big ceremony. Like, Doctor Who is so big to the British people that, like, the King exited the TARDIS and played along like he was in a fake Doctor Who episode. Like,
it is. Doctor Who in England is not just a pastime. It's part of their culture. They love it. They love it. I mean, it's part of their culture entirely because
that's why
it's involved with them.
You can't just bring that here. It won't plug into the USA culture. So my plan is to actually have some actors from England and have actors from the United States and have actors from like some mysterious Eastern European or Western European, I don't know, I get it mixed up, country.
King Swish!
Wait,
King Swish! Everybody welcome King Swish! King Swish!
Hey, King
Two
Swish.
highly motivated. He's our Australian brethren.
Sorry, I was just
So Goopy said it's Domino's. King Swish said the Australian Domino's is the best.
Oh.
And it probably is. Listen, it probably is. What I ordered should have been delicious. What I ordered should have been delicious. But it's like they went cheap on the toppings. Even though I ordered extras and double cheeses and things, it came like a regular pizza. What
Right.
bothers me is that you order double cheese, you get regular cheese.
You ever have Papa John's? Papa John's.
I used to like Papa John's. I used to. They have little pepperoncinis next
Oh,
to their
it's more
pizzas and the
expensive.
garlic dipping sauce.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were
they're more-
delicious.
You always have to ask for 2 dipping sauces because you know everybody's like, I want another dipping sauce.
They used to be good. I think in the beginning, before they overly commercialized themselves. Look, I used to work, when I was a kid, I worked at Pizza Hut.
Oh,
I used to
really?
make pizzas and I would deliver pizzas. And the pizzas back then were good.
I was
Listen,
fortunate
we
not
would
to work
we would pre-make the dough, and
I've
so
never worked
they would
retail.
cook the pizzas in a skillet. They would cook the pizzas in like an iron skillet that would go through the pizza cooker, and there'd be oil in there, so it'd be bubbling inside, so the deep dishes would be crunchy and soft and perfect. I mean, like, mwah,
It's
fantastic.
better. Yeah, 80s or whatever. Yeah.
It's not like that anymore. They don't do shit like this anymore. Everything's on a conveyor belt. Everything is, how quick can I cook it?
It comes as a pre-packaged product number from Cisco Corporation.
Right. And
Taco
all
Bell
they do is
number
they throw
5,
some
McDonald's
toppings on
number
it.
3.
Right.
They
They
don't
throw
even
a
make
couple
their own
toppings.
stuff.
They put a sauce on there. They put it into a pre-made oven at a timing, or it comes to a conveyor belt. And not everything cooks that way. Look, when I used to make a
No.
pizza, you shovel it into the oven.
Yeah.
And then you got to wait. You got to bring it out. You got to look at it. You got to rotate it. You got to throw it back in there. You got to take it out. It's almost ready. You put it back in there. Look, making a pizza was about vibe, about feeling, about.
Work at Pinnacle Foods. They manufactured foods at scale. Aunt Jemima, Swanson TV dinners, Campbell's soup, this and that. I don't know, a whole bunch of Hawaiian's Best and on a whole bunch of brands. They had a bunch of brands, right? And it was only Aunt Jemima frozen. So we were the frozen Aunt Jemima waffles and stuff you would get in the frozen section at the supermarket. But another company was Aunt Jemima, the dry Aunt Jemima you would get off the shelf. So brands can actually be different companies, even is the same brand. Ain't that
I
weird?
can see that. I can see that.
Ain't that weird?
Different
Brand
offerings and
holding
different companies
company.
handling their
Right.
frozen foods, their dry foods.
There is a company called Aunt Jemima that runs all that licenses it out. And I think that's what they do with Doctor Who and stuff. I think they license that show to a producer who then owns the license to make the show for certain. They don't talk about that, but I think that's how it works. Honestly,
But it's interesting that you brought up food, and it's interesting that because
yeah, I got a berry bowl. It was pricey.
well. So tonight's conversation, I want it to be about food. Tonight's conversation, I really want it to be about the possibility that our food is being poisoned. So what I'll do, let me start off with this. Let me start off with a highly motivated spoken word. You ready? Here we go. I saw your berry bowl over there. Yeah, let me see. That looks delicious. Look, you got raspberries, you got blackberries, blueberries. Lovely. All of that is incredibly high in antioxidants.
How big it is, too. It's enough for a couple days,
You may take a few of those out, put some heavy whipping cream on that.
This blackberry or whatever kind of berry, I don't know. Oh.
But delicious. And you know something very healthy. Very healthy for you. And that's a big deal. That is a big deal. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off with a highly motivated spoken word. And it's about our topic du jour. It's about the micro topic or whatever's on Orange Brain right now. So here we go. What if the greatest war wasn't fought with bombs, but with breakfast? What if the battlefield wasn't a foreign land, but your dinner plate? See, we live in a world where food has become a product, not a promise like it used to be. A world where shelves are full, but nourishment is empty. Vitamins and nutrients for the body are empty, where convenience has replaced connection, where ingredients have names that we cannot pronounce. And diseases have names that we've learned to normalize. It's a cycle. They feed us this food, high blood pressure, diabetes, fatty liver, depression, anxiety, inflammation. And this is like an order, an order of operation. You know, you eat this, you get that. What if we have forgotten what food was supposed to be? Look, food once came from the soil, from the seasons, winter, summer, fall, from our hands stained with dirt. And now it comes from factories. Factories that even Christopher tells us about. Laboratories where they make our TV dinners. From marketing departments, you know? We sit here, we count calories, but we forget to count how many chemicals that they're putting into it. You know, we celebrate shelf life while shortening our own shelf life. By eating these foods, we're shortening our lifespan. Medicine stopped looking to heal the sick, right? And it started managing symptoms. Medicine now is about managing the symptoms. That's frightening. It used to heal, and now we're just trying to manage symptoms. We're just trying to stay above the water. If health becomes the exception, who profits from the rule? I'm not asking you to believe every conspiracy that I talk about here. I'm asking you to question everything we talk about. I'm asking you to question life. Question why countries eating nearly identical calories can have dramatically different health outcomes. Look at America. Look at what we're eating. Look at what they're doing to us. You know, question why children develop diseases that were once rare diseases are now becoming common. Question why fresh food often costs more than processed food. Question why prevention receives so little attention while treatment has become a $1 trillion industry. Did you hear that? Prevention gets no attention. But we have to find the treatment for all of these things. And again, that's a $1 trillion industry. So I feel like we are in a cycle. Questions are not dangerous. Your blind acceptance is. And your blind acceptance of what you eat is. What's more frightening is that we are in a system that rewards profit, even when people lose. We are in a machine that doesn't need villains, only participation. And every day we feed it. One purchase here, one shortcut, one habit. You know, we use microwaves to be quick, but microwaves take away our nutrients. We have forgotten what good food actually looks like. You know, I mean, your body was never meant to survive on chemicals masquerading as food. It was designed for sunlight, for movement, for clean water, living plants, real food, real connection. The human body, look, the human body is astonishing. And you give it what it needs, and it fights for you. Every second, every breath, every heartbeat. We need to have a revolution in the kitchen. What the fuck? Oh my God. I look over, I see this fucking hand. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, holy shit. Didn't even fucking notice. How long have you been doing that? No, what is it? Why? How long was she there? That's fucking crazy. Freaked the shit out of me. I didn't even realize. I look over and I see a fork right here. Look, we need to have a revolution in the kitchen. You know, we need to have a revolution in the farmers markets, in our own gardens out here. We need to grow food again. Our own food, real food, not poison food. Look, start with a tomato plant. Start with one healthy meal. You know, you do this, you grow food and you start making one healthy meal. Our children will learn. Our children of these generations that get Grubhub every single day or taco shit that's giving them more than just shit, giving them diseases from the vegetables that they carry. We start doing better habits and we teach our children to do better habits. We start cooking meals at home. It teaches our children to cook at home.
Everybody wants something for different. Call Factor and we'll send you 20 different meals from 20 different restaurants at 3 times the cost it would cost you, 4 times the cost it would cost you if you just made it at home. How can a family sustain like that? Are there families really like that? I mean, I guess if you have a lot of money and you can just afford to eat out every night, then maybe that's the thing.
But that's the thing. People can't afford like that. People cannot afford to continue going on like that. And the food they're eating is chemical.
They can afford it today, but not long term. It's just not a long term strategy, right? I agree, Lauren.
It isn't. You're right. It's not a long term strategy. And what we're looking at right now is we need a better future. You know, we need a better future for not just even for us, for our kids. You know, and I feel like we are surrendering our health. We are surrendering our health for convenience, for ease of operation. I mean, like Chris just said, order now and you'll get 20 meals of this and that and this and that. All with preservatives, all with too much salt, all with saturated fats, all with sugars, all with crap that your body doesn't need. Don't outsource your well-being to people who have never lived in your body. You are the one living in your body. You need to become curious and informed, you know? Become impossible to manipulate through ignorance. Because the strongest population isn't the richest. It's the loudest. It's the healthiest. It's the most aware. Oh shit. You fucking scared the shit out of me again. I look over. What were you gonna do it with the cat? You were gonna be like, don't throw the cat at me. Do you want to come say hi to people at least? The strange fork. Here, take this with you. No, take it. Put it in the sink. I don't know what the hell you did with it. Just take it. Are you locking it? No, you have to lock it. I'm doing a fucking show. I can't go lock the back door. You lock it. Lock it. Go get the key. Go lock some shit. Okay. Scaring the shit out of me. Ridiculous. Okay. That's what my kids want to do. My kids just want to scare me. That one right there is sneaky. You got to watch out for her. She's a sneaky one. She's like a ninja. She's a freaking ninja. Just watch out for them. But no, look, the strongest, most influential people are the healthiest. Are the ones who know their bodies, know their health. Look, I haven't eaten fast food. I guess Domino's would be considered fast food. But I haven't eaten McDonald's or burger shit or Wendy's or you name it. I don't eat that. But I guess I eat just as bad. I got the fucking Domino's, which it didn't even taste like a real pizza. I think we need to remember. We need to remember who controls our food. That's it. We need to remember who's controlling our food and why do they control it? Because they want you sick. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about who's controlling the food, why they're controlling it, what we're actually eating. All right, and maybe just to open our eyes a little bit, because you know that a small number of multinational companies have all the control and influence over the seeds, the agricultural chemicals, the food processing, grocery distribution. That's kind of the micro topic for tonight. It worries me. We don't realize it. Look, Pfizer is a medical pharmaceutical company, right? Pfizer owns the patent to rennet. Rennet is one of the 4 ingredients used to make cheese. So when you go to the store and you buy American cheese, you'll see that it says cheese product, not cheese. Look, be wary of food that has multiple names to it. Cheese product. You know, just like vegetables. I don't know. Why not? We should be going back to one word: beef, chicken, cheese, broccoli, no additives, no extra bullshit. So let's talk about why the food in America is poison. We are sitting here dealing and okay. Let's bring facts to the table. So I said, who's controlling the chemicals, the seeds, the agriculture, the distribution, the food processing? Who controls all that? Pfizer, Bayer, Corteva, Syngenta, Cargill, ADM, Tyson Foods, and there's a few others. So did you notice any of these names? Some of these are also pharmaceutical companies. Did you notice some of these are also pharmaceutical companies? Also, you notice another crazy thing that the pharmaceutical companies own, or they patent, or they have control of? The educational standards for our doctors. They publish the books, the material, the practice. It's all done by the pharmaceutical companies. They have designed the education for doctors. And all the way back to the 1930s, 1940s, they've been controlling what doctors learn. And I guess where my shock comes in is that they're controlling the food. They're controlling the medicines. They're controlling the doctors. That right there shows a cycle. That right there shows that basically a handful of pharmaceutical companies are influencing much of what is planted, harvested, processed, and ultimately sold. That right there, I think, on its own, should show malicious intent. I mean, shouldn't it? I mean, shouldn't that show some kind of malicious intent, where they control the food, they control the doctors, they control the medication? Don't they want us sick so that we're always paying into the fucking system? Don't they want us sick so they can control our minds, control our attention? What's that? I can't even hear you. What's going on? Oh, you didn't say anything. I thought you did. His mouth was moving. He's over there.
I did. I was listening to some music, a backing track I have, and you at the same time, and it made it sound more theatrical. As you were saying those things, there was like music in the background going, ooh, ooh, ah.
Maybe we need to put out a couple of videos
and it had
crazy
like
music.
Guitar to it.
Well, maybe we need to put out some videos with music and reminders for people.
And it happened to line up. What you were saying really epic. It did.
Well, look, this is serious. This right here is one of the most simple things that we can look at first: our food, our nutrition. I mean, I know the Kennedy guy who's in charge of all those things, and he really shouldn't be because he knows nothing about anything. But he is trying to make changes.
Well, I think symbolically the biggest deal with RFK, his name's RFK, right?
RFK, that's right.
Junior.
RFK!
RFK. The FDA.
You know what I'm talking about?
They give it.
I can't even do his voice. It's the craziest voice.
So he talks that way, right? He's got a speech impediment. But the biggest deal that ever happened in politics in our lifetime, or the past many decades, had to be RFK Jr. and Trump being on the same stage together and shaking hands. Like, I think about it, and it actually gets me in the feels, man. Like, I actually, like that's a big deal, because he's like the reasonable left liberal viewpoint. Now you have the reasonable liberal left and the Trumps, and they're kind of in their own thing, right? But at least there's some unity there. And then all that's left is like everyone else that's like really fringe, So yeah. That
So,
RFK thing. Like
so it's interesting.
on the
It's
other
interesting
side,
you say that.
the other
So we
side.
don't do politics on this show, people.
Yeah,
But
generally not,
but
you know.
but I do want to mention where Christopher is saying it's monumentous that RFK and Trumpy
It was a
have
big
been on the
deal.
same stage. Basically, a staunch Republican
It's a big
and
deal.
a liberal independent Democrat.
Trump used to be a Democrat, so that's
Trump is
you
anything he needs to be to make
know.
money.
Well, that's
He will be
yeah.
Democrat. He will be independent. He will be Republican.
I've heard that from business people too. I've heard business people straight up tell me, like, look, man, Democrat, Republican, whatever's good for the business.
Right, whatever's good for the business. That's what I said. So what's interesting, what you just
You're
said.
required to do whatever's good for the business too, and it's not.
Well, what you just said with RFK, whatever is good for the business.
Yeah.
So RFK will jump wherever is required because it's good for business. And so for me, politics is like business. These people are just doing business deals.
Yeah,
and they're all the same. And they're all being run or influenced by these larger corporations.
Look, if you had $2, $3, $4, $5 million in a briefcase and someone gave it to you and they're like, look, man, we're setting your kids up for college, you got all this money, just live normal, you got all this money, like you just go this way instead of that way. And probably most people are going to do that, I think. And does that happen on its own? And is that how the world has become such a bad place in many ways? I don't know.
So you're saying, would I just take the briefcase of money, the $5 million, and be quiet? Would I take the $5 million and turn the other cheek?
Something that's not going to kill you, but it's not going to.
What doesn't kill me is going to kill thousands or millions others.
Something you'll be able to sleep at night over, but it's kind of wrong that you did it. Like, I don't know. Like,
so what might not kill me might still kill millions more.
Like supporting the sugar lobby or something.
Sugar is one of the biggest killers.
We're not directly going to kill somebody, but from a policy standpoint, it steers society.
But it will. But sugar will directly kill people. Diabetes was not a bit. Look, you go back to the 1930s, 1950s, 1960s. Diabetes was not a big fucking deal.
Right.
It was an issue, but it wasn't an issue.
Right.
Now diabetes. How many people have diabetes?
I don't know.
How many people have the diabetes?
I don't know. Let me look at
a lot of people. So, I mean, something's going on over there.
Yeah, the auto destruct on the chrysalis is signaling me to make an adjustment. Over the past 25 years, diabetes rates have grown significantly. All right, I want a chart. Like, let's see what we want. Right.
Well, no, and that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
when
yes,
you look at it,
it's like
diabetes has gone up the chart like this. Same with other diseases like so autism has shot up the scale. So autism, diabetes.
96, 97 was when it was going up steady. But then 96, 97, it made a turn and went off. Like,
how many other diseases made a turn and went up around that time?
Good question.
I wonder if you can look if that's something that can be looked up. You're pretty good. You're pretty good with the searches there.
I'm asking it. Yeah.
But think about just think about what we're talking about here. I may not know everything, and I don't. I think I do, but I don't. So tonight, we haven't spoken about cannabis, other than this gorgeous Moroccan peaches from Goldflower Cannabis that I'm smoking, a medical cannabis provider here in the state of Florida. If you have your medical card, these are the people you want to smoke.
That's analytics work. I'm not doing analytics right now, Aaron. Sorry. They pay me to do that. I'm just joking with you. I don't care. Yeah, obviously what you're saying is true. Diseases go up. I was concerned with diphenhydramine, DPH, which is Benadryl in its generic form, and it's used in sleeping pills. It's great. It's a sleep aid. You got a toothache, you can break one open, spread it on your teeth, gums, whatever. Good stuff. It works. But if you take too much, you see shadow people. And it says only take like 3 times in like a 3-week period or something. So
Look,
you have a
look,
couple
these
of
things
needed.
affect you and affect your brain. And you sit here and you're like,
It kills your brain.
it works
It kills
great.
your
This is something
kidneys.
great. But if I take too many, I'm going to see shadow people.
It kills your brain, and it kills your brain, and your kidneys might cause
Right. So
Alzheimer's.
this is not a good thing.
Anti-caloric.
It's not a good thing. You know, I mean, for example, look, chemicals
it's bad.
that we
They sell
use
it
here in the
in
United
quantity.
States.
They sell it in
Well-
quantity. It's bad. It fucks you up.
Well, it is bad. Look, Chris,
Like if
listen
you
to this.
ignore
And
the
here's where it's going to get
instructions, and
crazy.
a lot of people do. They just take shit. You know?
We have chemicals that we use here in our food that have been banned in the European Union, in Europe, all over the world. All over the world
Right.
have
Red
banned
7
these
and
chemicals.
orange
For
7.
example,
That's
potassium bromate.
Right.
Potassium bromate.
Sounds great. I want that on my dinner. Give me some potassium and bromate.
Well, it's been banned in the European Union, banned in Canada, banned in several other countries. Animal studies have raised concerns about cancer risk from potassium bromate, and it's all over our food. Also, brominated vegetable oil. Brominated vegetable oil. And it's used in citrus flavored drinks. Historically used in many American sodas.
What's bromate?
So brominated vegetable oil has been used in our orange drinks and other American soda. The European Union has prohibited it. The U.S.
See, bromate has to deal with the ozone layer and shit.
But something that is something they're using in our drinks in an orange soda, brominated vegetable oil.
I've seen that.
And it's been prohibited in Europe. Europe has prohibited it. Wait, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Titanium dioxide.
Yes, titanium dioxide is actually used in the cheaper off-the-shelf chocolate pudding you would get at Aldi's. That
Chocolate pudding. It's also used in like what? Deodorant?
Yes.
What the fuck is this? Titanium dioxide?
Titanium
He's like, yeah, it's used in pudding.
Yes.
In pudding? And it's everywhere. Titanium dioxide is actually in any food that's going to be white, like marshmallows or gum.
So I got one for you. And people might want to look this one up. And I'm really serious about this, Aaron. It's dihydrogen. Let me get this right. Dihydrogen monoxide.
Dihydrogen monoxide.
Is that
I think I have that one written down over here.
Dihydrogen monoxide. Dihydrogen monoxide is sounds toxic, but it
does sound toxic.
It means water. It's table water. is dihydrogen monoxide. So you got to be careful. It's just because something has an evil sounding name doesn't necessarily per se make it evil. But if scientific studies say it's evil, it might be evil. Like polysorbate 80. I don't know. I mean, you hear this, you know.
Okay. So glyphosate. Do you know what glyphosate is?
I've heard of glyphosate. They put it in.
It's one of the world's most widely used herbicides.
You need these Roundup.
And it's sprayed. You ready for this? It's sprayed on corn, soybeans, wheat, oats, and a ton of other crops.
So they genetically modify the crop to be able to
tolerate it. Right. I was about to say one of the things. They have genetically modified the crop so that it can tolerate glyphosate.
Right.
But the glyphosate does not come out of your crop. That herbicide stays inside your food.
It's part of the molecular structure of the food, yes.
So they're saying, number one, it's a big cancer risk. And exposure to it at all should be minimized.
So where do you get clean food that doesn't have that?
You grow your own. You stop trusting the grocery stores and your bullshit. It's Whole Foods organic. Look, the only way that we can stop this atrocity on our food. And by the way, Trump recently passed a bill allowing for your food to be sprayed with these forever preservative chemicals before the food's even picked.
So that was against the policy of the Trump administration as stated by RFK and everyone else in the Trump think tank. I tune into that. I understand it. I have a heartbeat and a pulse on what they're going to do. And yes, that was a big upset within in the community.
A big
That they needed-
upset?
Yeah,
This is not a big upset. This is the beginning of the destruction of our food.
RFK was said glyphosate's bad, but then Trump's like, no, we're going to allow the glyphosate.
Look, these herbicides are only one thing. Think of the pesticides as well.
There's a
Look right there.
part.
You're eating strawberries. You're eating blueberries and raspberries and schnozberries. You know, many fruits and vegetables receive multiple pesticide applications throughout a growing season.
I'm getting chrome through the.
And I bet you, if you take those vegetables, look, you take those fruits of yours, put them in a bowl of water. Put them in a bowl of water, and let them sit there for a moment. I bet that bowl of water turns yellow. You should take your fruits, put them in a bowl of water, fresh, clean water.
Yeah.
Just let them sit there and watch the color of the water change. Look, I'm telling you, it's a wild thing. Hey, it's East Coast Visual Media down there. But look, pesticides are being sprayed on everything. Spinach, apples, grapes, strawberries, peaches, you name it. And a lot of those stay. Look, these crops are pretty much the top of our consumer guide of what we buy, and for pesticide residue, these are the top products like spinach, strawberries, apples, grapes, peaches, blueberries. They are at the top of pesticide residue. You've got to wash it.
They call it synthetic pesticides too. I just asked ChatGPT, I'm like, is the fruit sourced from this store? And it's like, yes, most supermarkets have, most commercial supermarkets have pesticides that you're describing in their food.
So they do. Now, we said herbicides, pesticides. Now let's look at preservatives. By the way, all of these things are in your food. All of these, not some of them, all of it. Look, there's things like sodium benzenate. Sodium, which I think that's like a salt, and it's used in soft drinks. There's BHA and BHT used to extend shelf life in cereals, snack foods, packaged products.
Remember MSG, the Chinese food always
MSG,
says,
monosodium glutamate.
No
Absolutely.
MSG. They say no MSG in their food.
And nitrates used in hot dogs, bacon, deli meat, sausages.
Maybe when they say no MSG, it's loaded with fucking MSG.
They say, look, high consumption of the nitrates and processed meats is an increased risk of many diseases to the body. By eating sausages, by eating hot dogs, by eating bacon. Bacon, hot dogs, and sausages on their own are fine. But if you eat them and they have nitrates, which most of them do, the nitrates prevent dangerous bacterial growth. But nitrates are also going to give you cancer. Nitrates are going to shorten your lifespan. Look, I'm spitting out. I'm so mad. The food we're eating is poisoning us, and we keep eating it. And then take into account ultra processed foods, ultra processed. And that look, ultra processed foods frighten me. And what are they? They're going to be they combine. So your ultra processed are really combining a lot of different, like, refined starches, added sugars, industrial oils, flavor enhancers, emulsifiers, preservatives. And we're just getting started. Ultra processed foods lead to obesity, higher rates of obesity, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, chronic illnesses. And this is happening from the ultra processed foods that you're eating. So we are being reduced in numbers through the food we eat, the chemicals that are processed through our bodies. And if we're rich enough or wealthy enough to afford all this pharmaceutical care, then maybe they can save me from the shit that I eat. So I'm paying for this and then I'm paying for that. And if you can't pay for that, then you get big, you get diabetes, they start cutting off legs and arms and shit like that. We are poisoned by the progress of our civilization. And I ask, look, I'm asking, is someone trying to poison us? Is somebody trying to poison us? The government, the pharmaceutical companies, maybe a rogue science people that are into population control? I mean, you look at these companies. You look at these companies that like Pfizer and Monsanto, which is now Bayer. Bayer bought out Monsanto. It's really a corporate thing. They're looking at lower production costs. They're looking at longer shelf life and the convenience and higher profits. Companies are always looking for higher profits. So is it something nefarious? Is it something that we could say, well, the government and the pharmaceutical companies are in cahoots feeding us this shit? Do you want to know what it is? You're buying the shit. They don't have to feed it to you. You're buying it. They tell you what's in it. And you know something? You don't care. You don't care. You eat it anyways. You buy it anyways. You keep consuming poison. And why? Because it's easier than cooking. Why? Because it's easier than knowing what's in your food. Earlier, Christopher mentioned, he goes, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do, Oren, if all the food that we're buying is shit, is poisoned? You grow your own. You grow your own. This is a bowl, but I use it as a cup.
The cup is cursed by evil spirits.
But I think, okay. And now this next, so that's it. That's food. Food is poison. Food has been poisoned.
I'd like to set a minute to the candle. It's a lot better than this damn bright light.
So I've got the big question. And I'm going to give it a second before jumping into the next micro topic. But I do want to mention that it's quantum, what it is. It's quantum immortality. Quantum immortality. Before we start talking about that, let that sink in a bit. I want to get any speculation meantime out of Chris or anybody else. East Coast.
Quantum immortality.
Have you heard about it? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think we're all immortal, but we're just not aware of it.
Well, we're already dead. I mean, we're not, and we are. We are living out the energy of this existence. I don't know. It's
no scientific evidence that we exist at all. Kind of thing.
Well, quantum immortality. This is a fascinating idea that I'd like us to explore. Quantum immortality and the Mandela effect, and these are two things that I'm bringing together. So, quantum immortality and the fact that we have already died or changed realities, and the Mandela effect would be proof of quantum immortality. So what if death isn't as simple as we think? What if consciousness doesn't experience the branch where it ends? Because consciousness is everywhere. And what if those strange moments, right? Those shared memories that don't match recorded history aren't failures of memory at all, but echoes from another version of reality? I told you, some nights we get deep, some nights we don't. But no one knows. Nobody knows. But the question itself is what we're asking. Now, what is quantum immortality? Quantum immortality grows out of an interpretation of quantum mechanics called the many worlds interpretation. And I'm sure you've heard about this before.
Of
Look, the
course.
simplified idea is this.
Almost a trope at this point in science fiction.
Well, every quantum event has multiple possible outcomes. And instead of one outcome becoming reality, every possible outcome continues in its own branch of the universe. In this interpretation, there are countless versions of you making countless different choices. Now comes the big leap. Philosophers have suggested that because your consciousness can only experience branches in which it continues to exist, you would never actually experience your own death.
I think that the many worlds theory is probably, in my opinion, it's too complicated of an explanation for
Complicated
how.
or simple? Did you hear how I put it? You never actually die. You don't experience your death.
So here's the thing: when they do the double slit experiment and the wave
Right?
function collapses into a particle, and they can prove that through experimentation, there's the theory of the many worlds theory that says it never actually collapses and it just approaches a point of infinity where only a many worlds theory could explain it after that. And so it's a very, not necessarily a central, you don't need the many worlds theory to have quantum physics. It's just merely a
No,
speculation.
you don't need the many worlds in order to have
It
quantum.
may not
But
exist.
but through
You know,
quantum physics, it explains it, and it explains quantum physics. So to dive a little deeper,
it
and
explains the
before I even
double.
dive deeper, I want to go from personal experience.
It decreepifies the double slit experiment, if that makes sense, because the double slit experiment seems creepy. But if you add the many worlds theory, it's like, oh, it's not so creepy. It's just many worlds, like kind
Okay,
of.
so where
I mean,
where it says that you never actually experience your own death. So twice, I went through something that shouldn't. So once I was in the back of my truck, grabbed material. I had stuff in my truck box. So I went in the truck box, grabbed some of my marketing material, and as I got out of the truck, I put one foot over, and I'm standing on the bumper. I turned to put the other foot, and it got stuck as I was coming out, and I'm falling. And all the material is flying everywhere. I mean, I saw it clear as day. The material was flying, and I'm thinking, oh shit. I mean, I'm going backwards. My feet are in the air. So I see my feet, and then I blink, and I'm standing holding the material. It was that quick. I blinked. I didn't hit the ground yet. I blinked. And I'm holding the material, and my head hurt from like here all the way, just for a moment. And then it started going away. And I'm standing there at the back of my truck, looking at where I just got caught up. And I saw it. I know what I got on the top of the truck, on the bed. On the top of the bed, the plastic piece was loose on the inside. And you can get something stuck. My foot got stuck. I fell and I hit my head, but I didn't hit my head. I'm standing there holding the material. But if I had hit my head, I would have died. It would have killed me. It would have knocked me out and just killed me.
Something happened. Yeah.
So and then I kind of, and I've told this story before, but I walked into the office, and the nurse, she had a different haircut.
Before. It's all right.
And the doctor was super nice, and this is not a doctor that's normally very nice.
Yeah.
And when I left, everything seemed different. Like everything seemed different. And and it was like this for a period of time until the second event happened.
Where is the mind? Like, where is the thing that is experiencing the things that?
So from your perspective, you always wake up. You always survive. Not because you're physically immortal, but because your awareness only continues along the branches that we were talking about, where awareness is still possible. So I was continuing a branch in those possibilities.
Do you think that's a great
that's
one.
Quantum immortality?
You remember the episode of Star Trek TNG where Worf was falling into different realities, right? And It was multiple parallel realities, and he was falling into them, and there was changes in his environment. Like, that's kind of like what you're describing is like maybe if this quantum rail ends, you could maybe jump to some other quantum rail that like now exists.
So, but you're not jumping purposely. You're jumping as you slide into this reality, into this reality.
Like
but it's only
coaster.
continuing. You're only sliding into a new reality that you are continuing from a choice or something that's happened. So you're not going back in time. You're not becoming something else. You are
you may not be
continuing.
you may not be consciously aware of the choice. How about that? You know, right?
Right. Like I wasn't like, look, the second time this happened,
maybe you made a choice.
I talk about that event where we saw like a fireball coming at us.
You by God, and it said, this is the thing for you.
So for me, the two events that happened to me, the second event even being more overwhelming.
Oh, you had
mentally.
That was your
the first event is where I fell out of the truck.
Yeah.
The second event is when we were driving back from Stark or from Waldo, Florida, and we took a shortcut through I forgot the name of the town. It's so small. Anyways, I took the shortcut road, and as you're driving down this shortcut road, Earlton, I'm driving through Earlton, and as we're going through Earlton, there's a lot of trees on my left. And past the trees, I know there's a lake. So we're driving down this way, and Angie, my wife, was sitting next to me, and I had two of the kids in the back. And as we're driving home, I look to the left as we're driving up. I see what looks like a fireball up in the sky, and it's just a fireball. I'm like, holy shit, what is this? I go, Ange, do you see this? And she's looking as well, and we're both looking at what looks like a fireball through the trees. And so I said, okay, we're coming up to a clearing. Let's take a look. You know, we're coming up to a clearing. We're going to pull over. Let's take a look. So we came up to the clearing, which is interesting because I remember pulling off to the left. But in this new reality, up to the left, there was a fence and you weren't allowed to, you can't get up that way. So instead I would have had to pull to the right where there's a small cemetery. Like a really old Civil War or something cemetery. Anyways, so I pull over to the left, and I remember doing that. Maybe in my reality there was no fence there. I pulled over, and another car had pulled over as well. I got out, Angie got out, and we're standing. She's on the passenger side, I'm on the driver's side, and we're looking at this thing. What looks like a fireball that's getting closer and closer, and it's getting hotter and hotter. Like we feel the heat. It's getting bright. Like it's bright. It's hot. I'm like in a flabbergasted mode. I look over at the car of people. I look at Angie like this is the end, and she's looking at me like this is the end, right? Like this is it. It was a fucking meteor. I'm telling you, whatever. And we blinked, and as soon as we blinked, we opened our eyes, and this fireball went shoom. Just like that. Like it just changed direction. Oh shit, knocking things over. So it just changed direction like that. Like it was coming. We felt it. The heat, the light. We weren't the only ones. And I've never experienced anything like this in my entire life. And I don't know what the fuck it was, other than it looked like a giant fucking sun coming at me. And then I blink and it shoom. And we saw it. We saw it just fly off that direction. But like it disappeared, but it was so fast that it changed direction and just shoom, like it was leaving my reality, like it's rushing into another dimensional. I don't know. And I've never, I've never in my life experienced anything like that. I've seen a lot of shooting stars. You know, I used to look for them. I love shooting stars. I love wishing on shooting stars. But when we blinked and the thing shot like that, and Angie saw it and I saw it, we both saw it. So there was confirmation there. And we looked at each other like I don't know how we're alive. I don't, and to be honest, since then, things have been different. since then, it's almost like we're in a slightly different reality. Hey, Gavin.
What's
Welcome to Highly Motivated.
Hey, what's
Thank
up?
you, thank you.
Good to have you here. So we're talking tonight about, well, we started the show talking about poison food and how possibly the
Poison
government, pharmaceutical companies are keeping us poisoned so we continue on pharmaceuticals and doctor visits and bullshit, and how there's so many chemicals and pesticides and herbicides and preservatives and God help us so much crap in our food. And then I've moved on to quantum immortality. So right now we're talking quantum immortality, where we are just living through the energy of our life. Like, we don't die or we don't experience death. We're not immortal, but we don't experience death. Instead, we kind of phase from one reality to another. And I was talking about the 2 times that it happened to me. The 2 times, once where I fell out of the back of my truck. I've talked about the story before, and I should have hit my head, but instead I blinked and I'm standing there holding my marketing materials. And then the second time, where it was this crazy meteor coming down. I was driving through Earlton, and I saw it. My wife saw it. We felt the heat of it. We blinked, and it's like it shot that direction so fast. I've never seen anything move that fast. So that leaves a lot of questions, and a lot of things have been different between me and Angie, between me and the kids. The kids that weren't there, which is really strange because two of the kids weren't there at the time. Actually, yeah, 2 of the kids weren't there at the time. So I mean, what a strange, and it's something I can't put my finger on. You know, the change of our reality. So, Chris, when I tell you about quantum immortality, I think I've lived it. I feel I have lived it.
I'm Professor Time. I'm actually a fictional character. And you are part of the Stealth Time Machine Project universe.
So I said, thank you, Chris. Just gonna fuck me up entirely. I'm gonna be like, I need to smoke another joint. I got one waiting for me.
Dude, I'm just saying, I look at things through that lens. So, like, I'm like, well, would this person be good for that character, and that person be good for this character? And like, there could be infinite side characters, right? Like,
so we are the side characters. We are creating our side stories constantly. Through every decision, we create another rift in this many worlds, in this multiverse. Now, here is where this changes it. Here's where I've talked about this in the show before, and I do it because
I'm dubious on many worlds theory myself. I'm not
okay. No. And
where other things like the double slit and the collapse and wave function stuff.
So if it's not many worlds, then it's a multi-reality. I think worlds, but
so I think what would be good, and I love what your spoken word, but we would have to deep dive just maybe on the many worlds thing, just to understand it more, because I don't believe in it, and I don't even really know.
No. And we absolutely can deep dive. I think the first part of the deep dive is the Mandela effect. I mean, as silly as we say it, like, oh, Mandela died in prison, but then he ended up getting out of prison. I remember him dying in prison. I remember he died in prison. He was sick, and he died in prison, and it was a big fucking deal.
So maybe there's not an infinite number of possibilities, but maybe a finite or quasi-finite.
A quasi-finite amount of possibilities, which is still in the trillions of billions of zillions of possibilities.
So when you experience the archetype of when you experience an archetype in Jungian psychology from Carl Jung, which is the psychology I really love, by the way, in Jungian psychology, which is still a valid school of psychology, there's schools that teach it, and you get degrees, and there's associations and everything, is Jungian psychology. And there's archetypes. And when you activate an archetype or even create a new archetype, the many worlds theory might come into play then, where you're like, oh, I met this girl and my mind's all fucked up. I'm looking at, like, I spill sugar on the counter and it spells out her name. Or like, and you actually see it, and you're hallucinating some shit right there, right? Maybe then I think, from a Jungian psychology standpoint, when you really plug into the access mundi or whatever the shamans plug into, the tree of life,
The Akashic record, right? Whatever you want to call it.
record. Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. When I'm playing guitar, maybe I'm pulling notes from the future that I
Not
knew
even
I-
from not from the future, from the possibilities. For example, wait. Here's a good one: the Willow chip, the Google
I
AI.
don't know where I'm getting some of those notes from.
But okay, here's exactly it: the Google AI
I can feel
Willow
my
chip.
fingers guiding.
It's not
being
future,
guided
past,
a
or
little.
present, Chris. It's now. It's possibilities of now. Just for example, Google has
Maybe
that AI
only
chip.
now exists. Maybe
Well,
only
okay,
now
you know
exists.
the AI chip, that AI chip that they talk
Maybe
about. That
only now exists. Yeah.
here's the thing. Here's
What?
the thing. Do you remember they gave it a test, and in that test it had to solve a problem, and it solved the problem in 5 minutes, but the problem would have taken our technology, our computers, 10 quadrillion
Okay,
years.
so yeah, I'd like to make an announcement. If anyone needs access to a quantum computer, Japan just open sourced theirs, and you can go Google it, and you can do your equation and feed it onto the queue to be fed into the quantum computer to get your results.
Okay. So here's the thing. So now you've got this quantum AI chip that solved the problem in 5 minutes that should have taken 10 quadrillion years. That means it solved the problem from a universe. It pulled it from a universe or a reality where that problem is already solved. Just think about that. That's many worlds.
Like
That is quantum many worlds. It's an AI quantum chip, Willow. Look up Willow. And what it was able to do, it proved something that we're still not talking about.
Maybe reality is a Rubik's Cube, and it can be twisted around an infinite number of ways.
An infinite number of times. Look. When I say Mandela effect, look at this.
Not,
Mandela effect, millions of people remember things differently. The Berenstain Bears, the Monopoly man, the Monopoly guy, he had a monocle, right?
I mean, think about it. If there's 6 billion people having their own experience, and then there's infinite number of bugs and other creatures on this planet having some sort of experience, that's a lot of information. And how can the universe...
It's a lot of consciousness. It's a lot of consciousness. Yes.
Consciousness. It must be some universal, we are part of the cosmos solution to the problem.
Okay. Well, I want to prove it.
The
first place for us to prove it is Mandela effect. So do you remember the movie Shazam with Sinbad?
Yeah.
The one with Sinbad?
Yeah.
It never happened. It never happened. But it did. I remember the movie. It was fucking terrible. He's the worst genie ever.
So the movie Moonraker, I watched Moonraker over and over and over again. I'm like, oh, they digitally removed her braces. Oh, they didn't digitally remove her braces, they claim. They claim that the girl never had braces. But they have a TV commercial where they make fun of the fact that she had braces in that movie. And they say that people are confusing the two.
Okay. Do you remember Star Wars? Luke, I am your father. That was the most famous fucking line.
Scotty, beam me up.
Luke, I am your father. I remember this. Growing up, I remember Darth Vader saying, Luke, I am your father. It was like the most holy shit.
So
holy shit. The whole world heard this.
We used to say that as kids, right?
Luke, I'm your father.
The wrong thing or whatever. Yeah, we used to say that as kids. I remember saying it as kids, and I think that spread in the culture, and everyone just says it that way. And the same thing with Scotty, beam me up. People just say it that way. They're just like, oh, Scotty, beam me up.
But he used to say, beam me up.
Most compact way of saying the
Scotty,
thing.
Beam me up. But that's what he said.
That's what he says and means when he does. Scotty, beam me up. And it's the way he says it. It's a whole...
But here's the thing. The memories that we have are not wrong. What if those are leftovers? Little fingerprints from another branch of reality. If realities are constantly branching, Could consciousness occasionally carry fragments of information between them? I mean, there's no evidence that this happens, but there's no evidence of an afterlife. There's no evidence of reincarnation. There's no evidence of God.
When Luke
Do we
Skywalker,
need evidence to prove things? Do we need evidence to prove shit?
so
I mean,
Luke Skywalker had to switch off his computer and use his intuition, and I think that's a big lesson to learn from something like Star Wars. Whereas Star Trek is always, oh, there's a scientific, philosophical, psychological, identity-based reason or explanation, scientific.
but
Where
we're talking
Star Wars
Mandela
is-
effect. And you're right. No, these shows, look, these shows were great. But here's the thing, there's phrases and things that people said, people wore, people did, that in this reality are different. And I think the only way for us to really start accepting a many worlds, many realities, or the possibility that we don't experience death and we just slide into a new reality or a branch of our reality. I think the Mandela effect is something that we need to definitely expand our talks about. We've talked about it before. We've talked about the spellings of things like Bernstein. I mean, there are a ton of them. But I think the Mandela effect is proof of the many worlds interpretation. A car accident like that never happened, right? Falling and then suddenly standing safely, like I was. Missing a flight that later crashes. I mean, we're talking about, but you would have been on the flight in this other reality. Like, also for me, when I remember high school, and I remember this, a buddy of mine, Ben, and Ben was a golfer. They all golfed, and I was getting into the golfing thing. And he was like, hey, you know, you can get out of class. Why don't you come with us, get in the car, and we're going to this golf outing, right? And I was like, and normally I would have been like, fuck yeah, let's go, Ben. And me and Ben were pretty decent buddies. He was buddies with everybody. He was a very likable guy. So it was raining outside, and from what I understand, they took some shots in the car, you know, the drinky poo-poos a little bit on the way over to the golf match. And it was raining outside, or it was wet. It was wet or raining. I don't think raining, because golf and rain don't go together. Maybe it was wet. They hit a patch of something, and everybody in the car died except Ben. Everybody in the car died except Ben. I didn't go, but I could have in a different reality that played out. But maybe I did go, and instead my continuation, I didn't go. A car accident that never happened for me. I mean, what if the version of me that died stayed there?
The many worlds theory is very devious at best. It's I'm not saying there's not some sort of other thing that has these same characteristics you're saying, like where there could be many worlds, but maybe there's only a few worlds, or I don't know. But it's I mean
so if we say there's only a few worlds, right?
Like
if we say there's only a few worlds, at the same time, why not infinite worlds?
Well, I say there's only parallel worlds because the all the science fiction has had so many of these parallel world dimension things. I like the concept, and I think it is plausible, but we can't prove it. So therefore, it's not really science. And
how much stuff is there that we cannot totally prove? Sometimes we have to be able to take this
theory of the mind. We can't prove the mind. We can't prove gravity. We can't.
But we can't prove memory. We can't prove sleep and dreams. We can't prove death. Look, there's shit out there that we're
the mind. Even with 6 billion people, we can't connect the mind inside with the world outside and explain it in a way that
East Coast
comprehend in any way.
He thought that was Shaq. Shaq did a movie, by the way. Wait, just talk about it. Shaq. I remember the movie with Shaq as well.
Shazam.
where Shaq was a genie. It wasn't. It wasn't Shazam.
Shaq was a genie. I remember that.
Right, but go back. Sinbad, the comedian, he did this movie. I remember it because it was on fucking VHS. High video, whatever.
Yeah,
I
whatever
mean, listen.
That's right. I don't even think we know. It's been so long. Remember
but here's the thing, it didn't exist. So that's why us looking at the Mandela effect, and there's many Mandela effects. There's new Mandela effects all the time. All the time, there are new Mandela effects, like the Fruit of the Looms shit. I had underwear with the Horn of Plenty and all the fruit falling out of it. I had underwear. I know because my mom used to write my name on it like I'm going to lose my underwear.
The cornucopia. Yes.
The cornucopia of fruits and the Horn of Plenty, whatever they called it. And I remember this. And they say it never happened. I remember a reality that might have happened.
Human memory is reconstructed.
Yes, it's reconstructed, but
part of the Mandela effect.
All memory is reconstructed.
There's no
all of our memory is reconstructed.
Okay, but there's
memory.
no scientific evidence that the Mandela effect is caused by parallel universes.
There's no scientific evidence.
Right. It's a great fictional thing. Now, here's the thing: just because
with some facts,
just because science can't prove or disprove something, does not mean it necessarily exists or not. And this is an important thing for people to understand, because you're going to go through life only listening to what science says. You're going to have a very dull, boring life, right? And it's not truth. Just because you can't prove or disprove something doesn't mean it's not real. It could be very well real, and we just can't scientifically prove it. So when I say science,
like aliens, I'm not saying very well real.
Exist. I'm just saying it's fringe speculation, not science. Science is like in here somewhere where it's like we can prove it. We can do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and many people can do it. Whereas other things you can't prove it. The mind theory and the mind theory.
Okay. Then let's go by theory. So proof to me, feeling something can be proof. Seeing something and experiencing it is proof. So let's do this then. Instead of doing that, if there are infinite versions of you, wait. If there are infinite
science, right?
If there are infinite versions of you, what makes this one feel real? What makes this one feel like you? I mean, you're saying, so could reality be stranger than our current models of it? I mean, why do some people report these life-changing near-miss experiences
Here's
like myself? Myself. And I consider myself a very intellectual individual.
So here's the thing.
I consider myself, I don't believe shit unless I see it and feel it.
I gotta let it join for this one, actually. So here, I just came up with a eureka thing.
Eureka. Because look, my whole thing is consciousness, and
there's
consciousness produced by the brain, or
so we
are we receiving it?
There's at least 6 billion conscious beings, and then all the birds and bees and bugs and everything, they're all conscious. So and maybe even the rocks.
Right.
Okay. Okay, it's a big thing. So, if that's conscious and we have this many worlds thing, then what I think is we may very well exist in multiple quantum realities at the same time, because quantum physics is based on that thing, like you were saying with the computer, where multiple things are just happening at once.
Correct. So we branch. That's why it said we branch. We are branching.
But it's not that you're moving from one quantum reality to another.
No, you're not.
You're moving from one.
Unless you die.
You're clouds of quantum possibilities.
Yes, and you're branching those realities, and those realities are living just like you're living.
Right,
the only time you experience it is when you die in this reality.
So think of it as a cloud.
But you don't experience it.
Think of it as a cloud, lots of clouds, and your mind can absorb 3 or 4 clouds at a time as its quantum reality. But when I say cloud, I mean constellations of quantum reality. Like not just one quantum reality, but you're existing in multiple quantum realities.
Your mind is only existing in one. I can only figure that we're in one, because if not, then we'd go mad. I mean, if you're running three lifetimes or three,
I think the
realities
is that absurd. Maybe if the many worlds theory exists, and we have we're made up of many molecules. Each molecule could be making its own decisions and observing its own reality, causing the wave functions to collapse. Many wave functions to collapse. It would have to be we're existing in a continuum of many worlds.
Quantum immortality isn't really
at the same time.
It's not really about never dying. Perhaps it's kind of asking a much deeper question. Then
we probably never die. The universe is probably eternal. Yeah. I mean,
well, what is the thing that says I am? Is it the I? Is it we are body? I mean, if consciousness isn't merely created by neurons, then maybe we've been asking the wrong questions. Instead of asking what happens when we die, perhaps the greater mystery is what exactly is it that has been alive, right? This whole time.
We're alive.
Exactly.
It's
what exactly?
Not what happens when we die. What happens when
what's been alive?
Right.
And I think, look, the question remains open. Science continues to investigate consciousness. You are questioning consciousness. We look at memory. We look at quantum mechanics. But there is currently, you're right, no evidence of quantum immortality or the Mandela effect or shifts between parallel realities.
We can't prove any of that, right?
Right.
We can't prove the mind exists either, though.
I'm going to tell you something. We can't prove it.
We can't prove
it. But I have experienced it.
Right.
And I, as a rather smart individual that lives on fact, I live on fact. I live on look,
it sounds like you experienced a synchronicity, Aaron, like some sort of archetype, and you had like serious, impactful spiritual experience, and you see things come together in such a way that it was impossible to come together that way, but it did come together that way. And you're like, holy shit, that just happened. And I've experienced similar things. I've been with people and have had synchronicities happen where I had 3 people sitting around a table, and one person's like, I got Nextel. And someone's like, Nextel? 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 And then the TV in the same rhythm said, Nextel? And what didn't say Nextel, it said Next Step, but everyone thought they heard Nextel. And it was such a spook out between the people that we thought there was definitely some weird shit going on there, like witchcraft and it was just me. I was just very activated, like this state of mind where you are warping reality, maybe, and you're making shit happen, like that ordinarily wouldn't happen, but you're manifesting at a deeper level than just what you can just move things around. You're rewriting the cosmos or bending it like the Matrix, let's say. Does that sound familiar?
It does. It does when you gained control of your reality. You've gained control of your. It
sounds like maybe that's what you did.
Destiny.
Maybe you did that.
I feel like I do. I feel like I have. But here's the thing.
Something.
When you switch into another possible reality, all right, if you do, if there's anything like that,
archetype or both,
right?
Things we don't know. But
and again, I personally feel like I've experienced, and
that's why Jungian psychology exists, by the way, for the very reason you're describing.
And you're right. And look, memory does play. Look, memory plays a big deal because we never remember exactly right. It's all reconstructed memory.
It's subjective, provable evidence. You have that evidence that the subjective thing happened, and you can explain it. And from your perspective, it's scientific because you have the evidence that it happened, and it shouldn't have happened, but it did happen. Like weird shit. Like you look in your empty pockets and your car keys are not there. But then you're like, oh, fuck. And you're just like, oh. And then you look again, and abracadabra, like pulling a rabbit out of your hat, the keys are there. And you're like, okay. things are not as bad in the situation as they just were.
Yeah, but when
5 seconds
when you fall out of the back of a truck, you see your feet, you feel the fall, you feel the fear
you were
of
expecting, your head
knowing
to be
it.
falling,
I knew I was going to hit my head.
right.
I'm telling you, I
Right.
knew it the way my
You knew
angle
it.
was.
You knew it.
If nothing, I would have broken my neck. I would have had
Right.
a terrible fall.
Right. A concussion.
And I blinked. I blinked. And keep in mind, I was very aware.
Blinked, and then you were standing or something, you said, right?
And then life feels different. Right. I was standing there holding the marketing material. And for a split second, it hurt. Like from here down. Like it just hurt. Oh, just And then, but it didn't. It blinked away. I'm
you
just
know
standing
what?
there.
You could have had a memory lapse there too, which definitely could have caused a spiritual,
like I didn't fall.
Thing,
life
right?
felt different. Look,
Right.
the world felt off. Colors felt off, right? I mean, I walked into the office, the people seemed different. The hairstyle, the fucking doctor was nice to me. He was never nice. Never. He never invited me to come sit down and chit-chat. And he did, and we did.
You changed, Aaron. I think you changed. I think that's another thing too when these things happen. You are changing, So when a serious thing
something
causes you
changed.
to make a
Something
change
changed.
through accident or on purpose or otherwise.
What if the feeling wasn't like you're trying to say just psychological? I mean, what if it's because consciousness continued?
Right, we can't prove where the mind is
to another branch.
Well.
I continued to another branch.
Okay.
Like I traveled to another branch of the reality and continued living in what was slightly off. And then I feel like it happened again.
Many worlds thing, right? Like
I feel like it happened again though. There was a guy, there was a dude that this happened to. Like I want to say he avoided death somehow like 60 plus times and won the lottery. I can't remember if it was the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. I don't remember. I remember seeing the story about this guy and talking about quantum immortality and kind of how maybe this guy knew the trick to it.
Oh,
what is that?
Oh, it keeps on wanting to turn it. Never mind. I was going to say hippie crasher.
Oh, okay. Well, I take it you like it. I take it's a lovely one.
I mean, I stick my nose in there and I smell it, and I get some kind of contact from that. What is that?
But if you, of course, you're activating
the CB1,
right? Well, you're activating the CB1 receptors in your brain.
And you're right. Yeah.
When you break up weed with your hands, it goes. You can smell it, and it's already activating your receptors. So when you're smelling it in the jar, like you're taking it, and you're like, you're right in there. By the way, take a nug and crack it. Crack the nug and shove it in your nose. Crack a nug, shove it in your nose. Just really quickly. Or take your time. Hurry up. Take your time, hurry up. But if you crack it and you put it in your nose, you notice how the smell really develops?
Really?
And now you've opened up something else entirely? You take a good nug. You take a nice nug. You crack it. Look, like right now, it smells good. It really does. It's beautiful. But when you crack it and you just kind of give it and you
know what cannabis is? Cannabis is hope.
Oh, you've released like
cannabis is hope.
All this aroma.
We can have more cannabis and just more fuels and energy and artisan cannabis. I think.
Well, you have more receptors in your cannabis receptors in your entire body than any other kind of receptor. That's including in your brain. There are more cannabinoid receptors in your brain and body than any other type of receptor. That is wild. If you remember nothing else about tonight's show, that right there should make you go, really? You have more cannabinoid receptors in your body than any other type of receptor. That means it was made for us. We were made for it.
I just had an idea today, and it came to me partially you ever remember that you forgot something?
Nonstop. Nonsense. All day today. All day today. I'm
I
like,
forgot
what am I
something.
forgetting? What am I forgetting?
What
What did you forget?
is
What did you
that? What
remember?
is that? Your mind. I'll tell you another one. I moved apartments. I moved from one unit to the next door unit. And it's a long story. No one helped me do it. I figured it out myself. I'm like, oh, the unit next door is for rent. So I just transferred to the other one. I'm like, let's just swap this lease, do this facility thing. And the combination on the lock, as soon as I had the new combination for the new unit, I immediately forgot the old unit's code and memorized the new one instantly. And I'm like, shit, I forgot what the old code was. And I had to
No,
like,
you just stopped. You just stopped putting importance to those
right.
old
I just
numbers.
like, I don't need that.
Yeah, you dropped it, and it dropped. It dropped out of your
just
random access memory.
Right.
It drops out of your, out of
The
your
memory is like, thank you. I can be used for other things now. Other neurons, quantum clouds, or quantum realities, or
Remember, people, your nose knows when you smell something and it activates, and you're like, yes, I love it. That's what you're supposed to be smoking or eating or drinking, or. But Christopher did something interesting a moment ago as well, and you. It was something about when he was smelling it.
So I haven't released my third novel yet, and so I'm taking ideas. I forget what the idea was I had today. Damn. I forget what it was. Oh, yeah, I got it. Yeah. It was some bit of dialogue or scene, I mean, the Stealth Time Machine Project is not a difficult thing to understand. It's really a story. Oh, you know what it was today? You know what happened? I have some good news. I have some good news, actually. I had someone from LA who's an expert in making films. And he's like, yeah, you're a screenwriter. Nobody's going to make your film. And I've known that. And so the reply I gave him was like, look, I learned DaVinci Resolve and editing and color grading videos 5-6 years ago was the first thing I learned. And then when you have a script, people see, when you see a person as a writer in a film, you think, oh, they were paid $100,000 for their script. They don't have any more input into the project after that. And people confuse, oh, I can just write a script. Dude, millions of scripts get written each year and like one or two get actually make it. So you can't just write a script and hope someone's going to make that. That is not going to happen. That's not reality for someone who just has a script and isn't already part of the system making scripts. So people confuse that. They confuse causality with causation, and they confuse monetization with commercial viability or something, right?
Commercialization.
Yeah, and the guy was
commercial
the guy told me bingo.
Viability.
He told me bingo, and the guy he just said bingo. Like I was spot on. And I need those visual effects. I know you're like, well, the high concept stuff, but I need the visual effects. I need a love story. There's certain things that you need. You need all the tropey concepts you've seen in every film.
Yeah, but see, I think that's where time
you need
has
to go
changed.
beyond that.
That's where people have changed. You need to be able to sell to this generation.
Oh,
you need to be able to sell to not just your older generations, but to the people of now. Yeah. And honestly, people don't give a shit about a love story, a love interest, but not a love story. Love stories, people are fucking bored. People are bored with love.
No.
People are bored with that shit.
I love interest. I didn't.
I'm just from what I feel, from what I see, people are bored with that. They're so tired of the. Right, I'm just saying. When you said it, I sat here and I thought about it. And I was like,
I have to think about a story to back all that up.
And it kind of hit me in a certain way. But it hit me in a certain way, and I was like, a love story. I'll be honest. I'm tired of it. People are tired of it.
Yeah, I saw
people don't want a love story anymore. Love interests, they don't mind because it keeps things peace.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Correction. That's what I meant.
But no. Maybe you had meant the story, and that's also fine. That's also fine.
No.
I'm just going from what I feel. But but if you take focus groups of women will be like, yes, we want a love story. You take a focus group of men are like, I don't have time for that shit.
I want that
Just
all
give me a love interest. I want a love interest.
Love interest. That's
Fuck
it.
the story.
Like Megan Fox. Love interest.
Right.
Love
You have
story.
an interest, and it keeps. Have you ever seen the show Warehouse 13?
Like a token of interest.
Did you ever see the show Warehouse 13?
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. Yeah, I've seen episodes of that too. Yeah.
That show encompassed what you would build for a sitcom perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And if they wanted to, I don't know why they ended it, but if they had wanted to, they could have stretched that show for a decade.
So that was a good show.
But that, you notice, it didn't have a love story, it had a love interest.
Love interest.
And it had intrigue.
Yeah, you don't want too much of the mushy stuff. I get it. You know,
and you don't want too many perfect people. Perfect people can't act. They put them into something because they think, like, for example,
that's one of the inside jokes for my series too. Is the crew internally is conflicted and just like, get the fuck out of my way or whatever. But when they're on a planet or they meet people, they're like, yes, I am the captain of the ship. Oh, I am the good person too. But like none of them are
putting on a mask.
They're fake. They're wearing a mask, right?
That you know, I guess that's so you like to show the difference in conflict of this is their front face mask for everybody else.
They're highly imperfect behind the scenes, but when they're dealing with other people, they have it all together and they're confident. You know, they make shit up too. Like, yes, we're the United Time Travelers. Yes, indeed we are. You know, like they make shit up, like they're faking it. You know what I mean? Like kind of thing. And maybe they're not all faking it. Maybe only some of them are faking it. And the other ones are like, yes, I believe that. So not necessarily the whole crew is fake, maybe, but there's definitely like ulterior motives and things going on behind the scenes that the whole crew.
I'm excited for you. Look, every time I start hearing about your time travel chronicle adventures.
Like those are just aspects of it. You know what I mean?
But you want to do everything on a high budget. Like you want everything.
No. I want all the bells and whistles of sci-fi, but it doesn't have to be a super high budget. It just has to have visual effects. Those are cheap these days. It shouldn't cost that much.
Problem is they're also overplayed.
You don't want to overplay them. So we talked about that. It's better.
Right. We were talking about how everything is kind of AI these days.
Yeah. So
because of that, it's really turned off the.
I'll tell you this. This is what you're.
Because I also know you do love AI for video and music, but
I totally understand what you're saying. If you look, the reason we have 10 episode seasons of these sci-fi shows is because really it's like 3 movies grouped together and they broken apart into 10 episodes, and it's packed with visual effects. But you look at something like CSI Miami, it doesn't have so much visual effects, but it's more like rap video, music montage, moving the camera around, right? Nice sets, brightly lit, whatever. But it's 20 episodes, 25 episodes a season, 22 episodes, 24, whatever it is. I would love to have 24 episodes a season. So with 24 episodes a season, you tend to have a show that doesn't have as much visual effects, or the visual effects are done in such an economical way that you can.
The reason they're capable of doing all these shows is because the public wants it more. These have become so popular because they're nitty, because they're gritty, because they're authentic-esque.
Right. There's acting, real acting there. It's not just all gimmicks.
I mean, it's shitty, but there's real acting.
Like the Transformers movies, even the first one, I saw it 10 times. I love that, but it's
the first one I can watch. Beyond that, I can't follow any of it.
The first one, I said, I am Optimus Prime. You know, we are the Cube. Whatever.
The reason I can't follow those movies is because of the graphics.
Well, okay, right.
They've gotten over the top that you can't concentrate on any one thing. Nothing makes sense.
They're at the Griffith Observatory in California, and you're telling me there's these giant fucking robots. Yes, Optimus Prime.
No, we're not talking reality here.
And then there's no people seeing that. Like there's
no, we're not talking reality. We're talking the overproduction of special effects or CGI or.
All right, so that's a good one. When you see them having that whole thing where it's like, I am liquid metal, and all this Terminator, that turns me off. I don't think people want to see that. Like, I don't think, it's too much. Too much of it.
But I think well, now you're talking more individual CGI, like where that one girl, the Terminator, the guy, the one dude, like, he was running and he's like basically
Terminator Genesis and You know, a lot of them had the melted metal thing.
I think there was two,
3, 4, 5.
two movies. So
yeah, they did the metal thing 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that.
So that is an actual reality of robotics and morphing technologies.
Yeah, but
that
it
being
wouldn't be
said,
that fast. It couldn't move that fast.
Those movies to me were still okay.
Energy involved.
You want to get a good example of one? Take Total Recall. So with the original Total Recall,
yeah, they knew
it was excellent.
Pizzazz.
There was a lot of action. There was a lot of pizzazz. There was a lot of special effects. But you could watch it. Like you could watch it through the whole thing, understand it, follow it. There was a story. There was, I mean, and it pulled you in, and you loved it.
The new one. The new one was absurd. It had nothing
absurd.
To do with like that.
No story, nothing going on.
It
was complete. It was just basically you're thrown into this, you're thrown into that, and it's all action.
Some more Kate Beckinsale, and she's like, "Oh, I'm Kate Beckinsale."
But in that, your mind doesn't follow it, and it's not an enjoyable movie.
You know.
And that's what they've done to 80% of the movies out there. They've made them unenjoyable, because somehow they have this new.
I can explain that, Oren. The maximum action sequence is 90 seconds long, and if you go any more than that, and that's a maximum, you should keep it shorter. And then any more than that, the audience needs that break you're describing, where the character's like, "Oh, I'm glad that's over with. Yes, indeed. We can relax, have a lemonade. Yes. Waiter, what do you think? Pancakes? Yes. All right. We're not doing a normal scene." You need a normal, relaxed scene. You can only do 60 to 90 seconds of action at a time, maximum.
So why the change? Why is it because
it's
of our
neurologically programmed? There's scientific research.
But is it because of our attention span? For example, all this doom scrolling that we do, all this talky-talky, insta-chachi, just looking at bullshit.
Dude,
Why do we still? Is that why movies have changed?
Oh, be a leader, be mindset. If you were richer, if you only were poor, if only you understood us. This, blah, 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 blah. I'm this, I'm that. It ain't nothing fucking useful in there. Nothing. 1 or 2 posts were useful, and it's just nothing.
Well, I find when I have a lot of lonely time here, you know, I insta-cha-cha, or I tiki-taki, because I'm bored.
I'm not on TikTok. I'm not on Instagram. Do you think I should get into that? Yes, I should. I just answered that. But how do I ramp up my audience without a marketing spend? You know, how do I get if I do spend on marketing, will I get an audience?
So what are you looking to spend? What are you looking to actually get from an audience? Are you looking to get for a podcast to start talking about the stories of Stealth Time Machine? Or are you looking for...
Yeah, you know, it's probably not worth it for me to even do it right now.
Why?
Because I don't have a trailer. I don't have that trailer to gauge the audience engagement of my project. So maybe
could you do a somewhat trailer using AI? Use it as your opener, as your closer to your show.
There's possibilities. I got to see how much money that costs. I'm a start.
There's video stuff that you could spend $20 and get what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's not exactly what I need.
No, not right now, but you could change it. You can change it. So you're never going to be perfect. You're never going to be perfect. You're never going to be totally ready.
So
and you know something?
I think what I need to do is I need to take some music that's going to be used for the trailer and then patch together the scenes that are going to be in the trailer along with narration. You know, like they were evil from another dimension, a feminine force that's consumed the life force of, you know, countless worlds. Okay. And then like block out these scenes with the music, and where I can't afford to have any footage at all, I just put text there. I'm like, space bar goes here.
Yeah. Show space.
And then
show
get those pieces, put those pieces into the trailer.
And you know something? As you progress,
reverse, yes.
Put a new video. As you get deeper, change the video up. Fine tune it. Make it better.
As a producer, I actually do care about how it's put together. And
no, I know.
Do it,
but you know something?
That's how
you will never be 100% ready. You're never going to be, by your standards,
right?
You will never be 100% there. You're never going to be 100% perfect.
Right. So you got to move the pieces forward the best you can.
Yes.
And fill the blanks in as you go. And that's what I'm
Yes.
discussing. I will outline
100%.
it in DaVinci Resolve, put those scenes in there. I have the soundtrack already. I could do a couple different soundtracks. I did it before. I just switched mindsets. I did the novels. I did.
And look, if you don't like what you're doing, change the soundtrack, and then make your podcast 100% about each chapter. Like maybe you read a section.
Podcast right now, but I'm just saying, like,
why not say maybe you read a section of the book, and then talk about how they feel in this scenario.
Welcome
like, you know,
tonight's theater. I'm going to read you a story from this
right.
Time Machine project.
And tell people if you have questions about the characters, let's talk about it.
Right.
Let's do that in real time.
I could read the story, and then as I'm reading the story, play some of the music in the background and do spoken word at the same time. I can do that.
100%. 100%. Look at that. You got a whole show. You have a whole show built. And all you got to do is you got to make sure you have segments. You don't have to sit there and go without a script. The beginning of your show, you are going to be reading a chapter. Right. You're going to read a quick chapter from this story.
Yeah.
From the beginning of every one of your shows. And then after that, maybe you do like a spoken word, or you'll take question and answers like, hey, let's talk about the characters. Let's talk about how they felt. And then break down your show towards the end of it. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week for another chapter.
So I'm going to make a cake, and I have these ingredients available. So just go ahead and make that cake.
You already have all the ingredients.
Later.
Yeah.
100%. Thanks for the inspiration. Thank you, Art.
You have everything already. You've already got music. And by the way, you could do a quick thingy go to Canva, or what is it? Wait, CapCut, CAP, cut.
I know how to use DaVinci Resolve. I can edit.
Okay. Use DaVinci. But I'm just saying, right? And you can remember I put something out there where I was doing words of motivation, and it came with like explosions of the universe, and I did like a video like that. It was just words and a screen. So that's all you need sometimes.
That's pretty cool. I mean, whatever it looks like, it's the finished product is what matters.
Well, see, and that's the thing. And it's good if you're looking to get started with it. So you don't need a finished product, not to get started, not to get concept.
I'm in contact with AI people that do this for a living, and mass scale, supposedly media guys doing AI.
Yeah, but something, look at each thing. If they're going to be promoting, what are they promoting? What are you getting out of it?
Well, I have to look at each one to see how credible they are. Yeah, how much it costs? Are they credible? Can they deliver? All those questions, believe me. Some of them can, some of them can. You can tell.
So, just so you know,
signal from noise, man.
Just so you know, you can do it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I got to do it myself.
Well, no, you can post links. You send out conversations, little articles. You post an article, and the article is all about time travel. And then, by the way, in the middle and the end, there are links for the Stealth Time Machine project.
So here's the thing. Like, do I have to show the time machine in the trailer?
No.
Do I have to show action sequences in the trailer?
No.
Not from now, I'm saying, but eventually I do have to have a real
eventually
trailer.
You want to be fancy because you got to figure that shit out. But at the same time, no.
It would cost
because when you're reading in the book, you talk about the time machine. When you're reading your book passages, you're going to talk about the time machine. And as you develop deeper into this, say you have a huge audience, you're like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pay the money. I'll pay the $200, $300.
All right, so
and have them professionally put together some really good shit for me. I'm upgrading the video.
I could talk the actors from the series into doing a video together. That would be something awesome.
There you
go. I wouldn't have to have any money at all to do that. They can record their bit. I can record mine. We can look at it, iterate over it, get it good, and then edit it together and do the thing.
Yeah,
with the music,
100%.
100%. I am the time machine's artificial intelligence. I am the character, the other character. There's a couple of characters I don't have.
Well, but that's the thing. You don't have to have all the characters. You don't have to have all the characters right now. in order to start the show.
3 characters.
You want to build interest. You want to build interest and intrigue into the Stealth Time Machine project. You want to make bumper stickers. Seriously.
Yeah, actually,
I don't know why. I just saw that in my head. I saw like this weird silver Rubik's Cube looking thing.
You know what it is?
And then I saw Stealth Time Machine project.
Psychology.
I'm like, I want a bumper sticker now. Give
psychology, sociology, and all this other stuff.
I want a bumper sticker.
Life is context dependent. So when you're driving down the road and you're going 75 miles an hour in the left lane and you have your cruise control set and some guy's going fucking 100 miles an hour behind you and you can get the fuck over, you ought to get the fuck over. And if you don't, you should expect that guy going 95 fucking miles an hour to get up your ass. And you do expect it. And the outcome of what's going to happen is based on
how do you drive?
Context.
What the hell is going on?
All right, I'm just saying you don't drive.
No.
I'm just saying you look at this. You have to have situational awareness, and every situation has different variables, and there's a time and a place for different things: T-shirts, bumper stickers, trailer, music. And so you have the sound.
But you don't have to have it all right now.
No, you don't. No.
You're still in the fast lane, and the guy that's going 95 miles an hour is still behind you. And you know what you do? You continue going the speed you're comfortable with. Right, you don't have to go 95 because he's 95.
No, but I would speed up and get over. If I needed to speed up to just get the fuck out of
Don't be in that lane. Make sure you're in the right lane. The left lane is really only for passive and crazy people.
But I might need to speed up to do that. That's my point. And having the common sense to know that you ought to have sped up in that situation is a leadership, and knowing what to do in the context of random situations and in the moment using your intuition is the thing that wins battles, man. I think it does. Like being that warrior, that athlete.
I'm intrigued by your analogy of having to speed up in the fast lane when somebody's going 95 miles an hour behind you. I think the strength, if somebody comes up behind me, and I usually drive the middle lane or the right lane, I don't do the fast lane. And if somebody comes up behind me doing 95 miles an hour, I stay the course. I'm not going to speed up. I'm doing my speed. I'm doing 80 miles an hour usually. 75, 80 is what I'm normally doing.
No, if they're
doing 95, no.
Okay.
No. If they're going to get next to me, or if they want to scream, they want to yell, they want to maybe try not to get off the road,
so
I stay course. I stay strong.
I'm just saying.
There's no need to be nice at that point. You're going to run me off the road. I'm running you off the road.
If they are being nice about it, they won't get up your ass.
If they're being nice about it. Now, if you're in the fast lane, get the fuck out of their way. If you're sitting there in the fast lane, get out of their way. They're crazy people. Let them do what they're going to do.
But there's a point at which between being an asshole because I'm right up your ass and I want you to get out of the way, or I'm going to hang back a little bit and just kindly remind you that I would like you to get over. Or I'm just going to hang the fuck back here. There's different things you could do, you know?
I'm a weird driver. Look, I used to speed. I used
Not
to be
every rule applies in every
I used to be. But now, so I ended up teaching comedy defensive driving. Like when you get a ticket, you come see me. You have to sit through my class. When you got in trouble with driving, you'd have to come see me in order to sometimes get your points back or whatever they would call it. Right. So since teaching those classes, I became an incredibly defensive driver. Right. Now, I don't speed anymore.
Right.
I drive everywhere. And I drive a sports car. I drive a zippity-zippity. I drive a zippity-zippity sports car, and I drive, look, if the speed limit's 70, I'll do 75, 77.
Right. I mean, if you see another dangerous driver, you're not going to facilitate their
constantly
more dangerous.
And they will get right up on my ass.
That's what I'm trying to say.
And it's not just on the freeway, other places.
You're not going to make the situation more dangerous for others by doing the wrong thing. You're going to do the right thing.
No, I'm defensive and I'm ready. I am prepared for shitty drivers. So you need to be prepared for the other drivers on the road. Right. Other drivers on the road are the danger factor.
Right.
You don't know who's tired. You don't know who's high.
You don't want to contribute to You don't want to also be an asshole, therefore causing other people to be in danger.
Well, no.
Because,
So all right, so you're in
yeah.
the fast lane, and you've been in the fast lane obviously for a moment, because if you were there just long enough to overtake the person in front
No,
of
I
you,
got
then
the
you're not
fuck
going to
over.
have this problem.
I just got the fuck
But if
over.
you're there in the fast lane and somebody's doing 95 and they're coming up on your ass real fast, you better get out of their way.
Right.
I mean,
That's what
just
I'm
be
saying.
defensive. This person's
Right.
going to be a bad driver no matter what.
Right.
If you see a trucker in front of you swerving on the lanes, well, get the fuck out of his way.
Right.
Back up a little bit, or
Right.
speed up and you get around
Exactly.
him.
I drive like an old man. I do.
So you realize, but here's the thing, don't give
car
in.
insurance is
So-
expensive. That shit's inconvenient. I get it. You can die from a car accident. You just don't want to. You just want to do the right thing.
Right, but I think on the road, I'm also very stern in the sense that I stand my ground. Especially, you know, if I'm being defensive, I'm being proper.
Oh my
You've got to be kind to other drivers and understand that people are going through terrible things, and they take it out on people because they're protected by their vehicle.
Oh my God!
But your vehicle is a speeding bullet on the road.
There's so much
And
dust.
there are terrible drivers out there.
Oh my God! I moved the light around and like, dude, I like just wiped off. Like, you can see the dust on my desk. I just wiped it off easily. Just anywhere on the desk, I can wipe off.
What kind of filthy? No, I'm joking.
Because I use
you don't
air.
wanna
I'm
say like
lazy.
that.
I'm like, there's ashes or whatever. I'm like, use this, man.
I've got things stacked up over here, here.
This is must have. I must have like toilet paper, paper towels, soap, air duster, and alcohol. Things I have to have.
Wait. I'll tell you something that's amazing. So this right here is Lucas gun oil.
Yeah, what's that for?
So, yeah. So this is a cleaner, a protectant. This is some of the greatest gun oil I have ever used.
So do you have
guns?
You have guns. So do you do you go hunting?
Oh, people no.
That's great. I can imagine a scene like that. You go hunting? Yeah, I'll go hunting. And then the music is.
What do you go hunting for?
And then the screen gets played from the creators of this and that, and comes. And then you don't even show anything. It's just black screen. And then suspend. Oh, dude, you can easily see. That's the thing. You can make a low concept horror film with a guy with a sheet over his head. Did you see what I did earlier with the candle? I looked super funny.
So I hunt snakes.
Well, I could just edit together a bunch of cheap shit like that.
I hunt snakes and other critters that are in mass abundance and overtaking the territory. So I have to defend the territory of where I live against critters. So I use a variety of weaponry.
Could you imagine a squirrel being pissed off and actually being a deadly thing?
Listen, a pissed off squirrel, you're in trouble. You are in trouble. You have no idea. Look, their claws are so sharp. Their teeth are so sharp, and they are so fast. The amount of damage they can do to you without you realizing it is
has to be an overbearing asshole father. And
I would have, by the way, I would have never known this. I would have never known this unless my son had not rescued a baby squirrel. Well, the cat. So the cat brought the squirrel to him, dropped it on the floor, and it was an itsy bitsy baby.
Story. Okay, I have some squirrel stories too.
And so my son took it in, brought it into the house, bottle fed it, gave it formula, took care of this squirrel, and as it was young, it was the cutest, friendliest thing when it was young. I have a picture of it in my shirt pocket. When I used to work for Liberty, I had a picture, and maybe I can find it.
So what happened? What changed?
So then, it just gets a little bit older. It's like it goes into puberty, because a male squirrel, going into puberty, becomes very aggressive. Now, my son did not want to let him go, and was adamant that this thing is safe. Blah 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 blah. And I had young children at the time. I still have young children, a young child. but I didn't want the thing around Zavi.
Right,
So I was
right.
like, look, you got to keep the thing away. I just feel like something could be bad. This is a
Yeah, you
wild
can't have
fucking animal,
babies. You
has
can't have babies
instincts.
and stuff. Yeah. Or even small
So
dogs, yeah.
it bit Gideon, playfully bit him and took a chunk into his finger, like, holy shit. And Gideon realized, and the thing would like scatter and go up his leg. I mean, do crazy shit. And the
You can have
nails
a film
were
called-
so sharp
You can easily
that as it did that, it would prick into him and he would be bleeding. So
Oh, wow.
I convinced him to let it go.
right.
And as he let it go, it came right back.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
So I was like, look, let it go and close the door.
Right.
Let it go. And
Right.
he did. And we believe it hung around
That's a good story. Well, I
for a
would
period
like-
of time. We could
So-
hear it on the roof, but
so
I'll
you
tell
can
you
turn it-
something, dangerous. And if
You
those
can
things
turn
were
that-
to attack us, they could do real damage.
So you could just have a film called The Squirrels, and it's like that or whatever. And then there's a squirrel, and then maybe many squirrels.
Do you
or
know
I
how
don't know,
many
maybe
are out
a
here?
squirrel.
I walk out my front door in the morning, so you count. And before you're done counting, a quick count in a diameter like this, like I don't know what this is, in a
You
50
could just have
foot,
a film called
30-foot
The Squirrels,
area,
man, and it's the
14
fucking bird,
squirrels.
but it's the squirrel.
14
Right,
squirrels.
right, and they're all, oh my god, we're all squirrels. So there's
And
all-
they move like an army. They move in packs. It's
You can imagine scenes where the
frightening.
squirrel, they peek up their eyes. They're like, "Whoosh, I know you're looking at me.
Yeah, they know everything.
You're looking. I know you're looking.
No, they know.
No.
They know. So what I do,
Like, they're
listen,
like
what I do,
squirrels, or-
listen, what I do, I get the gun and I shoot into the ground, and the vibration hits the ground and scares the shit out of them. So they feel vibration and they
So
hear
I
the
shot
sound.
one with an airsoft pistol one time.
So they scatter. They scatter. So I don't have to actually shoot any of them, but they
Okay.
scatter. But it takes a little while and they end up coming back. So you shot one with an airsoft. By the way, we don't condone the shooting of animals of any kind on the Highly Motivated show.
But it was a very soft airsoft, and it was just like more of an annoyance.
Now he's like, it was a very soft, very
Yeah.
soft,
Very
like
soft.
gentle. It was a gentle airsoft.
It was a gentle airsoft. It was
gentle.
Spring loaded, wasn't compressed or anything.
Okay, so you hit a squirrel.
Fantastic. And I hit the squirrel and it pissed it off and it ran or whatever. And then the next fucking day or like the next week, at random, I'd get fucking like walnuts thrown on my head from up in the trees, like in the front yard of my house.
Look, they remember.
They're not
And you're
stupid.
lucky that they're not more
They're not
violent
stupid.
than
They're
that.
like, I know what that thing is. It shot at
I mean,
me.
look at the crows. The crows are super intelligent.
Aren't they? Yeah.
and super long memory. Look, Angie would walk outside and do like a caw. I don't know what the fuck. She would do something.
They do that.
And-
They're laughing at you. You know they're
But
laughing.
you know something? There would be an answer. She would hear an answer from the crow, like
They
one
do,
crow
yeah, they're
specifically,
smart. Like,
and then she'd
yeah,
hear the pack answer. So she had like an army.
They're talking about.
Yeah, she had a murder of crows. That's what it is. A murder of crows is a whole bunch of crows.
For sure, that's going on.
And so she would talk to them and they would talk to her.
They do talk. Animals talk.
And I feel like I had to run to my car sometimes.
So that's interesting.
Just, if I upset her, I upset the crows.
We haven't decoded bird language. We haven't decoded whale.
So
language.
with AI, have we not decoded dog and cat and
right, that's
bird
what
and
you would think, right? Like, at
well,
some-
is there a program actually? Something. Hold on.
No, probably not.
I'm gonna check because that is something that is actually because there's got to be. So,
I'm gonna look for bird song.
is there a program or something out there AI infused or with
you can
AI
identify
that
species
is being
of bird.
used to interpret bird language or dog barks or cat meows or the
Identify-
nah of a goat?
Okay, here we go. This
So-
is very interesting. AI is already very good at identifying species from recordings. Apps like Merlin Bird ID can recognize
Right, I was about to say there's a bunch of shit here.
from their vocalizations. So yes, we can do some of this already. Yeah.
It's recognizing patterns, emotions, intentions, and context. So here are some major efforts that are being worked on right now.
Nice.
Meow Talk is probably the best known consumer app. It uses AI trained on millions of cats, vocalizations to classify meows in the general intents, such as I'm hungry, I'm in pain, pay attention to me, or I'm happy. It's not claiming cats speak English, but it's trying to identify likely meanings. Several newer AI pet apps now analyze dogs, cats, and even birds by combining sound and body language, facial expressions, and posture rather than relying on sound alone. Companies like Sarama are taking a more scientific approach. Instead of saying one bark equals one word, they're collecting years of data from individual dogs using smart collars that record sound, movement, and context. The idea is that every dog has its own vocabulary. Well, if every dog had its own individual vocabulary, then the other dogs wouldn't know what the hell it's saying. And other dogs seem to know what other dogs are saying.
They do seem to know.
Whale communication. So beyond pets, scientists are using AI to study whale communication, and that's Project SETI, CETI.
Yeah, I guess.
Dolphin communication, bird song, primate vocalizations, elephant rumbles. I can imagine those elephants are like, leave me the fuck alone. Get me more peanuts.
Probably.
I like Cheetos. Just get me Cheetos. I like Cheetos. I'm just going to let you know. I may be an elephant, but I'm an elephant that likes Cheetos. You can keep the peanuts, or maybe give me peanuts and Cheetos.
When I was a little kid in kindergarten, I fed the elephants at the Philly Zoo with my lunch, which was peanut butter. My snack, which was peanut butter crackers. I fed the elephants at the zoo. I remember that as a kid.
Yeah, I remember they used to be able to buy shit to throw at the animals.
You could buy stuff too, yeah.
Yeah, I remember way early in the zoo. You know, early zoos when we didn't have a lot of protection from the animals. The bears were very close. The zebras you could ride, and the panther would walk back and forth along the fence, trying to bite your fingers as you put them through. I remember that zoos were not as well protected as they are now, and I remember there you could buy food to throw at the animals. How archaic! Now that I think about it. Oh wait. Let me see. I'm pretty sure I've heard about AI used to interpret animal sounds. They use it to studio marine life. That is interesting. So, that's interesting. Oh shit. So it's showing me over here. It's saying that through all of this kind of research. So you have music playing right now as well, yes?
In the background now, I do. I just you might have heard a blip of that when I didn't realize my volume was turned up. You can't even hear it now, though, right?
Oh, right now I can.
You can hear music.
Yeah, it comes in at bits and pieces.
Yeah, you can't hear it, right? Yeah.
Oh, we can hear it. All right, now we can't.
Yeah.
Now we can't.
It's probably the background, the noise suppression cancels. Like I was just listening to it on the side. Because that's my next tune. I'm good. You know, the next time I play guitar, I'm going to be playing that tune. So I must have listened to it like 8 times or something because I want to know. Like it's great too because I can just listen to a song and it's like, oh, I know that song now. You know, like.
But I don't know. So look, we were talking about AI programs.
I'm just winging
being used to interpret animal vocalizations and movements, and so I think right now we are close, the closest we've ever been to understanding our pets, understanding animals and mammals, and I mean, we already are getting, because
Well,
of AI,
you know,
we are getting much closer to putting together their languages,
they
so
can,
we
yeah,
understand.
it would be cool, and they might communicate through music, like birds sing, right? Like so, it could be a sequence of tones mean a certain
A
thing.
sequence of tones meaning certain things,
But
a
if you
certain
look at
number of barks
right,
at certain octaves,
but if you
it
look at
means a
human,
certain thing.
if
Yeah.
you look at human music, you know, there may not per se be a meaning to a song or something. So it'd be interesting to analyze those songs, like what songs are made up, what songs are part of a common language that they use to communicate with each other.
Well,
Common,
East Coast said
is
something
there
really
a common
important over here. East Coast says they have so much advancement in dog training alone that he's absolutely right. With some of these apps that people are using, you can really tell,
talk to your animals, pretty much. Yeah.
right? And because they're stressed, they're nervous, they need this. I want. So you start getting a different
I want
understanding.
water. I want this. I want to. Hey, where's the ball at? I want to. You know. Oh,
Mhm.
what's that outside? Oh, look, a squirrel. You know. Yeah. I believe
Well,
that. I'll have
look,
to look.
everybody. I do have to say, I love our micro topics. I love the community. I love having a couple smoky smokes. This is our Sunday sesh, but this is a crazy week I have ahead of me.
Yeah.
Normally, I don't, I
Too.
have to be smart about my body, about my mind. I have to be smart about what I do. And in that, I need rest. I
Yes. Go
suck at
rest.
it, and I'm not gonna try to sleep. I'm just gonna lay down and meditate.
All right. Have a
And
good night.
usually I pass out. Chris, you have a fantastic night.
Thank
I
you
do
for
want to
a
mention,
great show.
hey, thank you for coming. Look, I want to mention that, you have so much individual power. All of you do. You have so much, so much capability to create the world around you. When you realize that the world is this or the world is that, just know you are still making the decisions. You are still making the choices. Use that energy, use that ability, use that amazingness that you are, and create life around you. Don't worry about past, present, future. Don't worry about, are we a projection? Don't worry about, are there other worlds going on at the same time? Don't worry. Don't. Just create the world in front of you. That's it.
All right. Good
Simple.
night. That's great. I wanted
Good
to
night,
hear your
Chris.
final closing things there. You're
I feel like remember, like Jerry Springer used to do like a closing at the end of his.
Oh, I don't remember that, but that's good. I like it.
You don't? Did you never watch Jerry Springer?
I
Go back and
watched it.
watch
I
some Jerry
watched it, but I
Springer.
don't remember
What
the
is it
closing.
with you? You don't watch Jerry Springer.
I
Your
watched
life
Jerry
is going to
Springer.
change.
I don't remember the closing thing. I'll have
So he
to.
would always have like this closing monologue,
Okay.
and it was like, no matter how crazy the show was, or all over the place that the show
Yeah,
was,
it was crazy
he
and all
would do
over
this
the place.
closing monologue, and you'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
This reminds
Thank
us
you,
to live
Jerry.
life every day.
But that's why I like to remind everybody that watches this show that you create the magic around you. You are the GOAT, the greatest of all time. You are the one that makes every single day happen.
Thanks,
And
East Coast.
it doesn't have to be perfect.
Everybody else.
Chris, you as well. I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Chris, it doesn't have to be perfect. As I talk to everybody
Right.
else at the same
Right.
time,
It won't be
life is never
perfect.
going to be perfect.
Yeah.
So live it,
Yeah.
create it, become
Yeah.
it. Don't worry and stress so much on the details, because
Right.
the details unfold themselves as life happens.
Right.
So
Right.
live. Don't prepare your whole life for living. Like, don't prepare yourself to live your whole life. Then you
Right.
never live.
Right.
Live
Right.
now.
Right.
Right now.
I agree. I agree.
Life is imperfect. You are imperfect. And let adventure authentically happen. Let life just authentically happen.
Well,
It
I'm
doesn't
about
have
to
to
go on a
be,
guitar
it doesn't
event
have to be
today, so
adventure.
and
It
it's
doesn't have to be anything.
exactly what you're
But believe in
describing.
yourself. And that's why it's, look, be you,
Thank you.
be all in, believe.
You too, Aaron. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I
Highly
appreciate
motivated, everybody. Be
it.
you, be all in, believe in yourself, believe in you. I love it. Okay, I gotta go. There's ice cream calling my name. I'm being honest. I'm being honest. I'm telling you, my throat hurts, right? because it's been I was under the weather yesterday. Now my throat hurts. Now I'm using my throat being a little sore as an excuse to go get some ooey gooey butter cake,
Go enjoy that ice cream.
Bluebell
Yeah,
ice cream.
that sounds
I'm not
good.
going to do it. I can't. I should. I'm not. I'm not. I should. I shouldn't though.
All right, bye now.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm going to have some ice cream. I should. I've been doing so good, not eating, because if I eat anything, I gain weight. That's it. If I look at food, I gain weight. So I've been trying something new. Not eating. I'm still eating. I'm noshing. I'm snacking. I'm snacking and I'm noshing. Noshing is snacking. It's the same thing. So you nosh. I'm noshing a little bit. I nosh on this. I nosh on that. I'm not. Before you know it, you've noshed a meal. You've noshed an entire meal of multiple different things, which is probably sending my stomach on a hayride or something. The older you get, food is a thing. You know, it affects our bodies in so many crazy ways. And tonight, I'm ending the show, but I'm not. I mean, 3 hours like our break point, but the other night we went really long. So because we went really long, and I've got to go to bed eventually. Eventually, it's hard for me to leave the show. It's like, when you got really good friends and you're talking to good friends, you go over to their house and you smoke a joint or two, and they don't want you to leave and you don't want to leave because you're still talking. And the vibe is still great, but you're like, I gotta go. I gotta go. And it's like, my mother, that's how my mother was. You couldn't get out of a party. Like if my dad would take her to a party or somebody's place, and she would be in nonstop conversations. So towards the end of the evening, everybody's pretty much left. My mother would still be there in deep, deep conversations about, I don't know, it was in foreign languages. At the time, I didn't understand it always. So anyways, that's what it's like. Cheers, 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 everybody. Thank you for being here, part of this ever evolving show, ever evolving phenomenon that we are. Highly motivated. That's all of us. We are all highly motivated. We are all ganjis. We are not just cannabis, but cannabis is, the guiding light of what I do. Because it brings health, it brings healing, it brings pain reduction, it brings centering of mind, it brings youth, vitality, using cannabis differently. We don't talk about it enough on the show. We should start talking about it more. We should. I mean, we do. I bring it up, but people have short attention spans. And if I only talk about cannabis healing, then people are like, oh, he's only talking about cannabis healing. How about the aliens? How about AI? I want to learn about that. Okay. So I like to throw in different things, but really motivation for me to you. My motivation really is just opening your eyes to the power that you already have, the power that you shouldn't be giving away, the power that you shouldn't be loaning because you don't know about it. Believe in yourself, believe in your capabilities. That's what changed my whole world. That was the turning point for me, was the belief in myself. That's it. I mean, I was working for other people and I was dependent on their paycheck, their approval, their whatever, right? Like every paycheck I was like, is it coming in? I mean, I need the money. I got to pay this. I'm already in debt now. Every month I'm in debt before I got paid. And because working for other people, you're working paycheck to paycheck. Working for other people, you don't know when they're going to let you go. You don't know when, your usefulness for them has expired, or when your part in the company is being downsized, or somebody's grand idea is to get rid of this department so they can rebuild it again. I was dependent on other people's approval, and my well-being, my finances were dependent on other people's approval. Believing in myself after being put down so many crazy roads, learning to believe in me changed everything. Starting Oraganji changed everything. And it was learning to believe in me that brought power to my capabilities. You know, when you own a business, nobody is stressed but you. Nobody is worrying about it but you. You know, nobody's worrying about how to promote it or how to take it to that next level, right? Nobody can talk good about it like you can. And when you're on vacation, nobody's making money. Like when you have a business, it's your business. You're the one. You're the one that's responsible for everything. And when you get that belief in yourself, you start learning how to do things differently. You know, you start learning how to bring a different energy for certain things, like, you know, where to not divert, but dissect or multitask out your energy. I don't know. I'm blobbering, but it's belief. Troublesome Red, welcome to Highly Motivated. And at the same time, good night. Cheers to you. Hope you have a beautiful evening there. Um, I have to, I have to go. See, I still haven't gotten off the show. I'm still not off the show. I want to also say thank you for all of our international viewers like King Swish, Troublesome Red, uh, Goopy Ganji, Goopy Chunk, and many other international viewers in England, in the Middle East, in Russia, in Poland. Poland, we have a big following in Poland. I didn't know about that. That was like the wildest thing. Um, yeah, thank you. I do need to go to sleep. Yesterday was the weirdest thing for me. Like I lost all my Saturday. And then today, Sunday, it's been a rough day. Ooh, I hear some dogs going crazy. I should go check on that. Anyways, thank you again, everybody, for being here, part of the show. Thank you for bringing your energy to Highly Motivated. Good night. Good night. Good night. I'll see you again. What day is it today? Sunday? I'll see you Wednesday. Today's Sunday. I'll see you Wednesday. We are live Friday, Sunday, Wednesday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on all the places that you see me now. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, just a couple. Looks like something dropped me. I'm not on something. I'm looking at. Okay. Dogs are going nuts. I got to find out. Okay. Have a great night. Ciao.